Hey everyone, Sycra here, and today I am streaming with a bunch of cool guys. So before I introduce them all, let me just let you know how to find out about these streams if you're watching later on. I announced them on my Sycra Art Videos Facebook page, and you can see that here. And yeah, so I leave that. And I also announced it on Twitter at Sycra. So today my guests are Bluefley. This is his cool page. He's an awesome artist. He's a senior. Yeah. Hey. Senior 3D. Sycra here, and today I am streaming.
You gotta turn it off. You gotta.
So before I introduce them all, let me just let you know how.
That's okay, Sycra. Go find the page. Go find their live one.
It's a great start.
I have so many chat windows open. Okay. All right. I still hear it. And I also announced it on Twitter. It's someone else's. It's not on mine. So today,
it's not yours?
It's not mine. It's someone else's. I've got no tabs open. It's going to be you, Ricardo. Senior. Anyway.
No, it's not me.
All right.
I have my headphones and it's all paused without a sound.
It was that one kid, Jet. That Jetty Jet.
Thanks, Jet. Thanks, Jet, for ruining my nice opening. So we have. Okay. So joining us today, we have Bluefley.
Hi guys.
Bluefley. Oh God, did I like not even show my Facebook page? I think I didn't. All right, let's get back to that. All right, so this is the page, Sycra Art Videos page. If you're watching it in the future and you want to know how do I see when you guys are streaming, well, I post it here and also on Twitter. So this is Mark Brunet. Yeah, he already said hi a bunch of times, but
hi guys.
He's a senior 3D character artist at Blizzard, and he makes amazing digital art tutorials. And his name is Mark Brunet. Sorry,
precise.
But you can call him Bluefley. Okay, next we have Seage Speaks, who is Seage is the CJ Howlett, and he's. Maybe you guys don't know him. He's not as well known as some of the others, but he also does really cool videos. Look at this. Look at this stuff. Look at these colors. It's amazing. And yeah, I've posted the links in the description box, so you should definitely subscribe. And he does I wouldn't say you do so much tutorials, but you do more life advice, art advice, stuff like that.
Yep, all about life, mentoring and stuff, problems that we go through as artists.
And amazing art. Next we have Jet, who likes to ruin everything. And
hey, welcome to
Oh no, he's a good guy. He is the nicest guy. If you are not subscribed to the Jetty Jet show, you should Jetty Jet out of here, because... but again, another fantastic art channel that is more on the anime manga side. He works with Manga Studio a lot and Photoshop too. And yeah, cool tutorials, and he does a lot of hangouts, and sometimes I drop by.
Yeah. And by the way, you guys, they're a little confused on your thingy thing. You should link them for the this chat area.
Okay, I closed everything because just.
Yeah. In the description section, they can just.
All right, yeah. So here we're also doing a chat on a different video, and the reason I'm doing a chat on a different video is because Google has some problem, and it's made it so I don't get this chat screen when I do a hangout with a bunch of people, but I do if I create a new thing, but then I can only stream with myself. So it says, please stand by, starting soon. It's never going to start. But you can chat in here, and we'll be paying attention to the chat here while you're watching the stream in another window. So that's happening.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, next, finally, we have Bob Meatbag, who is... Whoa! And,
Oh, I gotta go.
We just started, dude. Hey.
he does really cool work. I don't know how to categorize it. It's like...
If you've seen my stuff, you know what I do.
Yeah, it's kind of self-explanatory. If you've seen it, you get it. If you don't, you'll probably not, because it's really hard to explain what it is. But it's art, and it's so good. It's amazing. So there. That's everybody. So, welcome everybody. And
Did you get Ricardo?
Ricardo, shoot!
Ricardo.
Okay,
Ricardo.
we also have Ricardo, who
We
is
got somebody.
Yeah.
Ricardo.
Portfolio.
He's this guy, and he is just
I'm a groupie. I'm just a fan.
he's from Portugal, and he doesn't have a YouTube page.
Yeah.
But he does have a sombrero.
Yes,
I do
he
have
has-
a
He has his sombrero, and he has some He'll be paying attention to the chat as well as I, so that's what's happening.
Yay.
Oh, and
Yay.
Amirah.
Hi, Amirah.
Hello, man.
Hi.
Late person.
Sorry. I just woke up.
Oh.
And Amirah is from New Zealand, and she's working at What a Digital. I don't know if I can say on what.
You know that spider scene
Nope.
on Hobbit?
No,
That's
no,
all
no,
me.
no, guys, seriously. No.
All right.
Okay. Where's that pen at?
So, shall we be taking prompts?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Jeez. All right. So, what you guys
It's
could
Ricardo.
Ricardo? He's old.
What?
I just
Yeah,
read the question.
I'm really old.
He's like older than me.
Yeah, I think I'm the oldest one here.
No.
You know how there's like ancient trees, like Ricardo. He's older than them.
Really, Sycra?
Mm-hmm.
Ricardo has a lot of rings, I found.
Wow. Tell me about Ricardo again.
He's from Mexico, and so
Old as a tree.
anyway. So where's everyone from? And what do you want Bob to draw? What you want him to draw? He will do what you want.
I will entertain the folks at the Coliseum. And in the meantime, I guess we could have questions, right?
Oh, we have somebody from Israel?
Yeah, do you have any questions? Because if you do, there's a good guy to ask today who has got some experience in the industry, unlike the rest of us. What you do, freelance?
Who is that?
Greetings from Germany.
Yeah, we got Germany, Austria, UK.
Denmark? Nice.
If Mexico.
Denmark, is that in Germany?
Denmark's not in Germany.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm an American.
You are still American. That is horrible.
Give me a break.
Chile,
Denmark's in
Ireland.
Denmark, duh.
Canada.
Wow,
Yes, Canada.
comments are flying now. Illinois.
They freeze and then they just go.
Yeah, Chile,
Is that
France,
Hungary?
Ireland, Finland, Illinois.
Alright.
Poland.
We got some US people.
Cali.
Oh, Mexico.
LA.
Of course we have US people.
Romania, Lithuania. Jesus, Europe is really well portraited here. Netherlands, Switzerland, Hungary. Wow.
Sycra attracts the Europeans.
What are you drawing, Bob?
One of us.
Bob, let's
What?
talk about your thinking process. What happened here?
I have no idea.
We have requests already.
Oh,
We have requests? What are the requests?
Not even
I
right
want
now.
a genital octopus riding a T-Rex with robot arms.
what? A what?
A what?
A gentleman octopus
Oh, okay.
riding a T-Rex with robot arms.
Okay. I can do that. Let me just go search up some reference of T-Rexes because I don't draw them very often.
Yeah, they're hard to spot nowadays.
I haven't seen them in a while. We used to have a lot of them in Canada.
Yeah, they show up everywhere in the backyards and everything, but I don't know.
You have to like hiss at them and throw acorns at them. And they scat you.
If they fall, it takes a while for them to get back up.
There's a Portuguese guy. It's always one Portuguese guy.
There's an Estonian guy as well. Norwegian, Russian,
French, Swiss. Wow, my goodness, this
There's
is
no
amazing.
French people here.
Hey, Jed,
Not
is
even one.
Switzerland in France?
No, Switzerland's in Canada. Duh. And they
Tune in
hold all
for
the
geography
money.
with the Jetty Jet show.
So the people who are in the main thing, it's much easier to actually read the chat. So I did post a link on the main page to the chat, and if you go there, it's easy to read your comments. Whereas if you're on the main page, I have to keep refreshing, which I will. I mean, I'll do it.
It's automatic, dude. It's going. Don't even worry about it. I'm just saying, man. That's more work for you. Just running. Hugs from Russia. Big hugs to you. Come here. And a hug. Bring it in.
Should I start tapping questions? If they pop up?
Yeah. See if there's questions.
Because there's someone asking for. Go ahead.
Clyde Moore asks, I want to start drawing robotics and machinery. Do you know any websites for reference?
Yeah, that's what I was going to. Yeah, that's the one.
I don't know any robots reference. I don't know.
There's a good one called Google.
Yeah.
No, in all seriousness, no, don't really know, but definitely just Google it.
You have to pull from everything.
Yeah. But it also depends what type of robots too. There can be like kind of anime, like mecha, and then there could be like more humanoid type of robots. There could be like really cartoony looking robots. Just narrow your search in the Google. You'll find it.
Yep.
I want to see if I can share my screen.
Do you have anything to add to that, bluefley? Do you know any robot reference?
Yeah, buddy.
Not really. I mean, I try to put a lot of like cool sci-fi stuff on my Tumblr, and that's pretty much where I go to get my robot inspiration, because that's mostly what it is. But
What's the link to your Tumblr? I can post it in the hoo-ha.
it's a bluefley.
Bluefley?
Yeah.
Bluefley.
Yeah. Actually, for my robot references, it's a collection of all the things that I've seen like throughout the years. Like I have a folder specifically for robots and the different types of robots. So I find them through DeviantArt and just all kinds of other art forms. If you look around, just collect it. Gotta catch them all.
Talk about it. I can't even talk about this. I feel so left out. Draw robots.
Yeah.
Robots is another word for women, and then I draw lots of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, me too.
Absolutely.
Here's Bluefley's Tumblr. It's bluefley.tumblr.com, and yeah, there's a lot of robots. Oh, this is Evan Lee, right?
Yep.
And his style is so easy to spot.
Evan Lee's a beautiful man.
He is. Wow, look at that. It's gorgeous. Wow.
Okay, I saw a question here. Should I read another question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so, hey Sycra, what would be a good way to improve my line work? And in brackets it says, my lines are really inconfident. So.
Oh, this one's pretty easy. It's use more of your shoulder and your elbow. You want to use those because they have a much bigger range of motion than just your fingers. Or you could just practice for years and years and years, and then even your finger and wrist you'll be able to create good lines. But one thing my art teacher used to say is, imagine that you're already a master, and draw as if you're that master. And it kind of does work.
Yeah, kind of like, you guys ever, okay, this is kind of a metaphor or an example. In singing, people ask, how do you sing? And then sometimes people just joke around like, la, 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 la. You know what I mean? It's just like, that's really singing. You know, you're exaggerating it, you're doing the opera voice, but you're kind of just pretending like you know how to sing, and then you're singing. So pretend like you're a master, and you'll become the master. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So. All right. More questions?
My chat froze. This lag.
Someone asked if you are doing crit.
Are we doing crits? Are we doing
are
crits?
you doing?
I don't know. I don't know if we're
maybe later. You know, it gets kind of hectic when it happens.
Somebody asked if we're gonna do DeviantArt critique day.
Yeah, the crits.
Yeah. I mean, we might be able to do a few, but it gets really crazy real quick.
They start spraying us with bullets.
Oh yeah.
The hate. What's your opinion on using Manga Studio? Jet.
What? My opinion? I'm still learning myself, but I'm learning as I go. There's a lot of cool functions. In terms of lines and stuff. Let's see here. Maybe I can share a screen. There's a really great function in Manga Studio.
Do you find it to be better than Psy, by any chance? Like, because I like Psy.
I haven't used Psy, but a lot of people say that it. Yeah, I haven't used. I have it.
Oh, you're on a Mac, right? So you can't use it on the Mac. Yeah, okay, got it.
Is that the case? Because I have like a Mac version, but it's really like, I think it was like an early version.
Oh, yeah, I don't think they upgraded.
Are you screen sharing, Jet? Because I do not see your screen.
I'm getting there. You guys just But yeah, Manga Studio, it's pretty cool. It has a blending kind of feel to it when you're painting. So it has this kind of natural painterly feel. So like, let me try to sample here. You guys see my screen? Alright.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, cool. So there's this. I'm going to talk about two real quick things about Manga Studio. Actually, three really impressive things that I see. And all of a sudden, I'm the spokesman for Manga Studio.
Wouldn't it be awesome if they were giving you something for this?
Yeah. Exactly, right? Oh my goodness. Should I? I mean, should I talk about? I mean, whatever. We're giving it out for free. It doesn't matter. So here's there's the brush tool. As you can see, it's really basic. These are all the brushes here, and then I really haven't delved into creating the brushes, but what they have is really nice. So I laid down this watercolor thing, and if I were to drop in, say, another color, green, let's see what happens. Do you see? Do you see what's happening? It's mixing the color.
Do you see?
It's kind of magical. If you're not used to if you're used to using Photoshop and then you click this and you're like, what happened? it blends the color really nicely as if it's kind of like natural paint. And I'm sure it has that feature for like other programs as well. But, so yeah, it gives you really, really cool natural feel. Painter, right?
Yeah, Painter. And Sai does it.
As for line, I didn't go over this, but I had an inking video, and I think I've gone over it somewhere else. But
alright, they could watch your inking video too. Then you don't have to.
Yeah. There it is. See, that's how they do the line, and I think those are the two major things that definitely. So those are the things, but yeah, you can create these nice arcs just by clicking and dragging.
And what are you doing, bluefley?
I'm gonna be sculpting something quick and then bring it up in Photoshop.
Right on.
So do you start with like always pre-made models? Is that something you've made or something that's you download somewhere?
This one is just one of the default ZBrush.
Okay.
But for when I use when I do women, for example, I use some that I've done in the past that I've never finished, and I just recycle them into illustrations instead.
Tycoon 10 asks, I guess this is for you, bluefley. Why is it that I see bad artists getting good jobs and good artists don't get jobs? It's very frustrating. Is that true?
It actually is kind of true. It depends on where you look, though.
Is it though?
I
mean, when you look at like Pixar, I don't see any bad artists.
Yeah, it depends on the field, though. Like if you're looking at like illustration, then there's a lot of people who are just really, really good at business and marketing, and they're getting all the jobs, and because they're kind of getting like famous because they're so good at marketing. And then you've got like better artists like in the city, but nobody knows about them and nobody trusts them yet, so they get nothing.
In games, at least, the only thing I've noticed really is that the reason why really, really good artists aren't getting the jobs that it's social skills that they're lacking, and unfortunately that's really important when you're working with other people. And you'll have like we've interviewed a bunch of really, really amazing, like super talented people, and just because they're so weird and it's so awkward to talk to, and you know, like you can imagine how the relationship is going to be at work, and it's going to be always like if you want to give feedback, or you never know how that person's going to take it, and you really don't want that in a workplace, because it just makes everything is suddenly more complicated just to deal with that person. So most of the time that's the reason why those guys don't get the job.
You have to be smooth as eggs. As eggs.
You gotta be a cool guy on top of being a good artist. Being good's not enough.
Yeah.
So
I teach that stuff. Social skills, guys. Social skills. Yeah, and actually, I guess also part of it too is like a lot of people get their friends into studios as well. I mean, obviously the friend has to be good, but you know, people take risks on people that they know. So again, that comes right back to social skills as well. Like if you're not making friends, if you're making enemies, then your chances are lower, no matter how good you are. Unless you're like super amazing and you can work at home.
Yeah, you guys need a good pep talk. Go check out Siege's channel. He will optimize your guys' social experience.
I'm the only non-tutorial person here, I think.
Yeah. He'll lecture you on life, but he also draws.
About it.
Word.
Let's say, let's say you're doing an interview, and you're interviewing two guys, and one is amazing, but it's kind of weird, and the other one is not quite good, but you can see potential, and it's just like the way he approaches life, approaches art, and you can imagine that guy is probably going to work really, really, really hard, to improve and to sort of fill in the gaps where he needs to improve. And normally this is the guy we're going to hire, even though it's not as good.
Nice. Cool. Alright. I got a question here now, if we're cool to move. It said, I can't find any inspiration to draw lately. Any ideas where to find some? That's easy.
Open the intrawebs and browse images.
Tumblr.
Also think about what you're into, don't just like shoot in the dark. Like, what do you like drawing? Do you like drawing animals? Do you like drawing girls? Do you like drawing people, armor? You narrow it down to what you like, and then start simple, you know.
Yeah, sometimes if you're worrying a lot about improving, like all the time, just doing stuff that's hard for you, you kind of have to take a break from it, step back, and just start doing things that you actually enjoy again to kind of get the ball rolling, to get the creative juices going. Because I don't know, there's this idea where like you need to struggle every day, and that's like the cool way to do things, but it's not really true. You're allowed to actually have fun and enjoy your life. So yeah, if you're actually enjoying yourself, you have a better chance of getting out of that rut. Also, going outside really actually helps, and looking at things and just analyzing stuff. And I found even just from talking to friends and like just having social random interactions, like not parties exactly, but just going out with people and talking and stuff. I end up coming home and I have all this inspiration because I've just like freshened my mind. You know, you took a break. It's kind of like stepping back from a painting and then coming back later and spotting all the problems. So yeah.
Any tips for painting skin? I made a video on painting skin. Cynic has a video on painting skin. Cynic's design. And Mark, do you have a video on painting skin?
Nope. That was actually on my list to do real soon, but
yeah,
I don't have one at the moment.
For now, just look at my video on painting skin, I guess.
Just leave it black and white. That's all. That's how you paint skin.
Is that Asian person asks, have anyone had to deal with when the closest people around you discourage you about being an artist? If so, how did you deal with this? Deal with the discouragement.
A left hook was my first reaction. No. Yeah, you're always going to have that. You're always going to have somebody close to you, whether it's family or friends or something that's going to discourage you, or teachers, which I had a lot of. And, yeah, the only advice that I can personally give is if this is your passion, this is something that you really, really want to do, you got to keep going. You got to push through it. It's like you can't convince those people with words that to agree to what you want to do. So you kind of have to show them. And even if they don't like it when you've shown them and you proved it to them, you just got to keep going because it's what you really want to do. And I know it's hard sometimes, especially when it comes to like cultural things, because some cultures will push a little bit harder than others. But sometimes you got to kind of take that risk because in the end, it's your life and it's your happiness. It's like you got to remember you're living for yourself as well. Like you need to be happy first, or else people around you aren't going to be happy. So if you try to change yourself completely for other people, you're going to end up unhappy, they're going to end up unhappy, and it's just going to be bad all around. So yeah, that's my advice. Anybody else?
Just grin and bear it.
Yeah.
Like there's always going to be people who's not going to like what you do. So, I mean, just enjoy yourself, and if they see you're happy, then they should be happy for you if they're close to you.
Yeah. Doesn't always happen, but sometimes they're bitter.
Well, most people, yeah, that's true.
And some people...
yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
It's okay, I'm done. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, some people, it's not that they're discouraging because they're mean or anything. They really care about you and they're worried. Yeah. And they want the best for you, but for those people, what you really have to do is almost be extra strong and deal with the fact that no one's supporting you, and then prove them wrong, you know? Because once it's like, here's my paycheck, I'm actually making money off art, they usually turn around, you know? Yeah. As soon as they find out, like, oh, okay, you can do something with this, we don't have to worry, then they'll be supportive. And then often, which is annoying, they'll be like, oh, I was supportive of them.
Yeah.
No, you kind of weren't. Yeah, but you know, sometimes they'll kind of put up with you, so that's a sort of kind of support, you know. So like, they're not like outright saying like, you know, hey, get a real job. Although I've heard that from some really, really close family members. So, but they were still, you know, like well, for my dad example, you know, he's the one who put me through school, you know, so, but the support was still there because through the action. So what they say may be different from what they, you know, what they do.
Yeah. right. Okay, I got.
It's raining questions right now.
I have one here. It says, "Can you guys introduce Seage to us, who haven't had the chance to know him?" Yeah.
I already introduced him.
Just gotta wait till the intro. I mean, watch it.
Second round.
Yeah, no, because we're trying to condense this thing. If we keep doing the same questions, it's gonna be. Yeah.
Seage is a guy, and he is doing art, and his channel description, or his link to his channel is in the description.
In the description, yes. All right, next question.
Yeah, I think I even talked about him too. So.
Bob, they want you to make the T-Rex pink if you can later on.
Pink. Okay, I can do that. I can color this later on in one of my videos. You will have a pink T-Rex with robotic arms, don't you worry.
Oh,
that's looking awesome already. That looks really good.
Somebody asked, how does 3D sculpting help him on his art?
Oh, it's just faster. That's what it comes down to. If I were to do the same thing in 2D, I would have to do it on both sides. And 3D, I can just activate symmetry and just have to do it on one side, and the other one just appears by miracle. And for some reason,
I think the question.
No, go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting. Yeah, I think the question was more into how did learning 3D modeling influence? Did your art get better for it?
Oh.
For training in sculpting.
I see. Yeah, it's just suddenly you see volumes in a different way. When you're used to seeing them in 3D all the time, and you rotate around them, and especially when you're working on a character, for example, and you're sculpting his anatomy, in 2D you can get away with a lot of stuff, but when you're in 3D you have to look at it from every different angle, and it has to be perfect from every different angle, so it forces you to do a lot more research. And well, at least for me, because I'm lazy and I tend to not do that, now suddenly I don't have a choice. So yeah, for me it's been really good.
Reita Sama asks, question for Ricardo. I want to be a concept artist. Is there any chance of that happening if I stay in Portugal?
No way. No. Hell no.
Get the hell out of there.
Yeah, you can't really be, unless you're really like really good and you're fetched by someone. But no, you gotta get out of here. If you want, I mean here because I'm here in Portugal. So, yeah, if you really want to be a concept artist, you gotta move out. Yeah, at some point.
Okay, Remy Zero Cat. So Bob Meatbag is an art slave now. How does that feel, Bob?
Bob Meatbag is a what? A what?
Art slave.
Art slave? Well, I've always been an art slave for Meatbags. I've always been the source of your entertainment, so there's really nothing new going on. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
Go on, get back in there. You've said enough.
The Shinnery 3 asks, Sycra, how can I get some recognition because an artist really needs to be known? How did you become as known as you are now? Wow, I started making YouTube videos in 2006. So it's 2014 now. And I studied a lot and I tried to teach people what I learned for over 7 years, and then now I get a bit known. So it's like, you do it long enough and then eventually you will.
Yeah.
Basically it's hard work, right? It's just dedication and hard work. There's no way around it.
Like magically.
Yeah.
Or it might, but I mean, not for me at all.
Mm-hmm. But definitely set it in motion, right? I mean, it did. It was like 7 years ago?
Yeah. I mean,
put it in motion.
The thing is, like, what is strange for me is 7 years ago, for instance, I would look at forums and I'd see bluefley's work, and it's like, whoa, bluefley, awesome.
Yeah.
And did I think at some time I would actually be talking to him in a hangout. No, it felt like he's just way up there and an amazing artist. And I was like, the thing is with me, I'm quite old, really old, and I've been around for a while. Like, no one knows me for a long time, but I've been around. I think I started in the community in 1997. So
Yeah, if you guys don't know, Sycra is pushing on 60.
I sound
Almost
like
there.
I'm 18 and I look like I'm 16, but I'm yeah. So
Alright. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna start sharing my screen as well, since all the artists seem to be doing it. So,
yeah, I'm not, because I'm not an artist, but you do.
Yeah, no, you're not. You're not. Yeah, but yeah. So tell me if it actually works, since you know it usually doesn't.
Okay. Yeah, I will let you know.
All right.
And Jet sharing as well. What you doing, Jet? Are you doing silhouettes?
I do the silhouettes.
That's so silly, Jet.
Yeah, it's been a while since I do the silly silhouettes.
What is
It
that?
actually worked.
Siege? Yeah, I see your screen.
Siege is working. Finally.
The first time ever. So excited
Oh.
right now.
You don't have to leave and arrive.
I know. What? My life.
A lot of people question. A lot of people seem to be asking how to be famous rather than how
How
to
to
be
work.
popular on a website, how to be more well known. And one thing I want to say is you can't expect to just put your stuff up there, wait, and then at some point you're gonna get famous. It's not gonna work. You need.
Right.
I mean, they're just not gonna find you at all. And that's just the bottom line. You have to be active, and you have to help others, and then they'll feel like
Pay
they
it
can
forward.
help you. It's like you're basically paying to get feedback, and then to get, how should I put this? You have to give to receive, basically, is what it comes down to.
Gotta pay it forward,
I
guys.
heard this thing of like, fortune is a jealous mistress, and if you chase her, she'll run away. But if you pursue passion, she'll get jealous and come after you.
Yeah.
And I think the same is sort of true with fame, because I never wanted to be famous, and I still don't really want to be famous. It's like I'm super shy, and I don't like exposure. But it's this thing of, well, if you help other people, it's like what Bob Ross used to say. You can have anything you want if you help other people get, or if you help enough other people get what they want. You know.
Yeah, guys, he's really shy. Like, honestly, when I first met him, totally. So, humble guy, such a humble guy.
Bob Ross.
Yes, all they would talk about was happy trees. And I was just like, well, he did the happy trees, right?
Ching Hao asks, what types of screens, and I guess these are monitors, would you recommend for illustrating? IPS, VA, TFT, VN. I don't know what most of those are except for IPS and TFT. I recently had a bunch of confusion with a piece that looked gray to me but green to others.
I have that problem. I don't have the answers for it, but I have that problem. It's horrible.
I don't have an IPS monitor. I just have the Cintiq, and I know the colors aren't exactly perfect. And I got this thing, the Spyder Pro, SPYDER, and it's supposed to calibrate your monitor and make it all proper, but mine comes out looking greenish, like everything looks slightly too green. I don't know, maybe that's proper and my eyes are messed up. But anyway.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Shots fired.
What monitor are you using, Mr. Mart?
I have,
Get him back! Get him back!
I have a Dell.
Oh.
Those ultra sharp Dells.
Oh, is it good?
Yeah,
I've
it's pretty
heard
good.
good things. I've heard good things.
Yeah.
Yeah, except it's so good compared to the Cintiq that the colors look nothing like. You're working on the Cintiq, and it's like, oh, dude, this is great.
And did you have to
And then you bring
calibrate
it-
yours?
Yeah, but still, it's just there's just a lack of color compared to the other one. So you bring it up to the other one, and then suddenly, oh, the hell? That's not how it was supposed to. Like the orange is a big deal. Everything that's like a warm tone, it's gonna be all messed up. It'll show a lot so colder on the actual screen versus the Cintiq.
I've heard about that from people too, like how their Cintiqs just aren't matching up to the colors of their screens.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty because now it just makes me avoid certain colors because I know I'm gonna have trouble with them.
Oh.
I must
So
be
like,
a pain.
yeah, so like oranges, like very deep oranges, greens. That's why I don't use those a lot because when I bring them to the other screen, it's like, what the hell? Not the same color anymore. It's like pink.
Does anyone else think bluefley is the greatest artist ever? No, no one thinks that.
I'm not. Are you crazy?
I do.
Oh, Jet, you're just sucking up.
You're still drunk.
Hey!
Um,
It wore off for you guys. I know.
Zeta Wolf 1 asks, is there a eureka moment in art where you just start exploding with progress after struggling forever?
No, I don't think so.
I think I've had a few, like, it's not like it lasts for a while, but it's like, you know, you hit your sort of feeling plateau things where it's like, I'm not, and then like, oh, yeah, a little bit, I don't know. But it's, I don't think there's like a one time where it's like, I'm good now. I've made it.
Yeah.
Word.
So yeah, it's an ongoing thing. You just gotta keep battling it out. And practicing and doing your best and having fun with it.
Owen Darwin asks, 1600 by 900 resolution versus 1920 by 1080 resolution for art, which is better? 1920 by 1080, like whatever is bigger is better, you know? Because
The more pixels, the better.
more pixels, exactly. If your computer can handle it, the biggest size is good.
And it also depends for me anyway. When I'm sketching, I like to go lower pixels just because my computer can't really handle it. So, and also makes for a lot of good happy accidents when you're drawing really small and pixelated. When you expand it and enlarge it, a lot of like details start coming through. Like you start getting inspired.
Sorry, guys.
That's okay, Ricardo. I've been taking the chat, so I've been, you know.
I have to forgive you this time, and the next time.
I'm sorry. There's so many questions. I'm trying to get through them all.
I think there's questions about art schools, like a lot of it. One says, I need your opinion on art schools. I want to attend animation course in Sheridan in Canada. I've heard a lot of great stuff about it, and I need to know what you guys think. And
Seage went to Sheridan.
And I live here still. Yay! So wait, what do they want to know about Sheridan? Like, about
is it
school?
worth it? Is it worth it to go there?
For the animation.
For animation? Okay, well, over here, school is a lot, well, not a lot cheaper, but it's a bit better in terms of price than the States. But, yeah, I mean, it really depends on you. Like, it depends on, first of all, your budget, and if you can deal with the money, if you can get grants or scholarships or any of that kind of stuff. And then it comes down to, like, what type of learner you are. Because, yeah, there's a lot of ways to learn on your own these days. And with art, it's kind of one of those industries where it's like not many people are going to look at your paperwork for it. So if you're like a self-starter, like a lot of people that I know, if you're a self-starter, then you can actually learn on your own or use resources or go to workshops instead to learn to save yourself some money. But if you're the type of person that needs like a structure, like if a schooling system is something that you need, then yes, it's worth the money. Because, you know, it might be the only way to really motivate you in order to get you to actually get your portfolio together. But yeah, that's my response. But Sheridan is a good school. Sheridan's a very good school. And I have some friends that are in the animation program right now. And yeah, I don't know, they're stressed. They're extremely stressed out. They don't sleep properly. They shake all the time, which is really interesting.
Yeah, my eyes started to twitch when I studied that.
My grandpa does that.
Nice.
No, I'm kidding.
He said nice. That's a beautiful thing, by the way.
Alright, I think I'm done with this prompt.
Okay.
I want to see.
Let's see if there's another prompt for Bob.
Bob.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there was a couple.
That looks awesome.
That's so good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Incredible. Oh my goodness.
That sounds sarcastic.
No. No, I was
Yeah, they're real nice of you, Chat.
Okay. No, I know, because you're really nice and you say that, but it just sounds sarcastic.
Oh, that's real good. Yeah. Right. Yeah, if I start farting while I talk, that's when I'm joking.
Hi, Kiora says, well, I can't stick around, so I just want to say, hey, Seage, you're awesome.
Oh, wow, cool. Thanks. Hello.
Yeah, man.
There's still
Thank
people
you.
asking when the streaming is going to start.
When the what
Still
now?
people-
The
There's
streaming.
still people. Yeah, there's still people who are waiting it for start in the chat room.
That's what I was saying.
No, it's not going to start in the chat room. It's in the other room.
Yeah, they don't.
If
They
you're
don't know
okay,
that.
so if you're in the video room, there's a chat in another window, and if you're in the chat, you have to watch the video from the other. I'm sorry, it's confusing, but it's because people were asking last time, can we have the chat? And it's like, well, you can, but if I want to have the chat and multiple people, I'm gonna have to do 2 separate things, and that's just thank Google for that, because.
Yeah.
Thanks, Google.
Thanks, Google.
Thanks, Obama. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so you need another prompt, right, Jeff?
Yep.
Bob?
Bob there.
The
Draw a
Bobby Bob show.
human-sized fly flying a plane.
A what?
A human-sized fly flying a plane.
Oh, okay.
Flying a plane. Oh.
Oh, okay.
You know what
I
you
think
should do? You should make the T-Rex pink
Oh. Okay.
real quick. Just like a overlay layer pink and just go over it so that the pink people get their pink on.
Yeah, there's a couple pink people up there.
Why am I painting in Photoshop right now?
There's a question here.
Yeah.
How important? It went away. I think how important is to know how to draw anatomy, and are you all masters at anatomy?
We're all masters.
Oh yes, we were all masters.
I've been a master for about 15 years now.
Yeah. I'm at least 200, going on 201. You know.
I think it's really helpful, though. Learning anatomy
Yeah.
helps a lot, and it helps for when you want to learn how to draw animals or anything else, because we share similar bones and muscles. And
Oh yeah.
but I don't know. I don't think you need to know everything, but you know, the big stuff. Kind of the stuff. I think you need to know the stuff that like a person who's weight training needs to know. You know, I'm working out my chest. I'm working out my deltoids, biceps, triceps, like all that stuff. It's like, yeah, get the big ones: quads, hamstrings, glutes.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, it goes back to what you're into drawing. If you like drawing environment, and that's all you draw, you know, it's like you don't really need to study anatomy. So it depends. If you like drawing people, learn how to draw people.
Yeah, it's really
Someone wants Bob to draw a bloodthirsty unicorn.
yeah.
Hold on, give me a second. I'm just
Bloodthirsty unicorn.
making the T-Rex pink.
So like maybe a plain and a bloodthirsty unicorn? I don't know.
I think I'm gonna go with a flying bird.
Yeah, that's kind of cute. It's kind of
There's another interesting question here. Did you all study classical art as well, or did you just dive into digital art?
I'm backwards. I started digital, and then I learned how to do traditional stuff, traditional medium after I worked digitally. So yeah, that's how I am. Like every time I go back to traditional, I get better because I work digitally all the time, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think I did the same thing. I went from digital to traditional and then back to digital.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's kind of true.
I was a traditional guy for a long time. Just tapped into digital very recently.
Yep, same.
Yeah.
A question for bluefley. Since you work for Blizzard and I love their product, is there any technique for drawing armors and stuff on character? I really struggle with this.
And what?
Is there any technique for drawing armor on characters?
Techniques for drawing armors and characters? No. I mean, there's not really a technique for that. It's just more. I would say you start with the big shapes, and then you add, when you have an interesting silhouette, you add details on there. But I mean, it really depends. And like, whenever I work on it, it's I don't know how to answer this.
That's okay. We can move on.
Yeah.
It's like anything else. Basically, the armor is not any different than the character or a head or a haircut or how to design a dress. It's all the same thing. It's just different. You just have to have a strong visual library for that kind of stuff, and then you just sort of take pieces here and there, and then assemble it into a new piece, and then that gives you like one armor piece, for example. And
Yeah.
how I approach it.
Yeah.
Like if you put a turtle shell on somebody's shoulder, that's armor. You learn your turtles and then put it on the guy.
Like I don't work for the WoW team, for example, but if you look at their armor set, they're always very teamed. So there'll be like either it's like a boar team or like a deer team, or so you take. If you choose one animal in particular to base your armor off of, you just you load up you Google that animal, you try to look at all its features, and you try to make armor pieces that kind of look like it, and then you add your own style to it, and you can get pretty cool results like that.
Right.
There
you go.
Someone said Siege is also known as Howl Siege.
Oh,
Is that long arm 358?
That's my DeviantArt.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, then he is Howl Siege.
I am Howl Seage.
Somebody asking, do you really need to be a master in Photoshop if you want to be a character artist? Because I'm more comfortable with other
No, that doesn't make sense. No.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if you wanted to be a map painter, but character artist? I don't know.
I mean, again, define master at Photoshop.
Yeah, you need to understand Photoshop, but...
I don't know. I know nothing about Photoshop.
No, he's saying that he's more comfortable with another program, so I think that's good. You just should stick with that program if you're good, right?
You should know a basic understanding of Photoshop, though, because it's an industry standard, so people will expect you to be able to do things in Photoshop. But master is like, I don't think you have to be a master.
Yeah. I guess you would need to be as good as you are in that other program in Photoshop if you were to ever work at a studio, because that's the only thing they're going to have. But you don't need to be a master.
I think technical abilities is not important, because it's like usually it will translate to whatever program that you're working on. So for example, if you're really good in Maya 3D program, you should be able to use 3D Max quite easily. Like you will pick it up pretty fast. So I don't think that's a problem at all.
Yeah, it's just technical skill. It's just a different tool. It doesn't take that long to learn anyways.
That's true.
Okay. Question for Mark. How to be good at color picking? I want to paint with colors from the start like you. What is the proper way to practice color?
I don't know. I am, if you've seen on my channel, I'm trying to explain it. I think I'm failing miserably at it, because I'm not really sure why I pick certain colors over others. It just looks good to me, but I mean, if you don't know, I guess start with the basic color theory, where if you want to make your images interesting, create your color palette before you actually start your painting, so that you know what the colors you're going to be working off of, and try to keep in mind composition, so you use those colors in different ratios that are said to be more correct than others. Yeah, color's pretty hard to explain, for me at least. I don't know if you guys have better input.
I mean, I did a recent video and it sort of talked about how I deal with color, and then I have other videos that's more logical. Because I sort of did the intuitive approach, which is just I make use of hue saturation and put down a color and just look at it, like, does that look right? And then if it doesn't, ask yourself 3 questions. Is it too warm or too cool, like the temperature? Is it too light or is it too dark? And is it too saturated or desaturated? So saturation, someone asks, what is saturation? It's basically the more saturated the color is, the more pure it is, and the more desaturated, the more dull it is. So like a baby pink is less saturated than a hot pink.
Mm-hmm.
CT Chrysler is here. Hello, CT Chrysler. You have a beautiful channel.
And you're a beautiful person.
And you are a beautiful person, says Seage. Okay. Any other questions, Ricardo?
Wow, it's really specific questions. I recently started on digital art, and in Photoshop, my images have this blurry look. How do I make my production sharp without hurting the image? Stay away from the soft brushes, I guess. For a while.
Yeah, that's something you could do. I actually went the extreme end, and I started using the pencil tool in Photoshop to do everything, because you get 100% opacity and there's no aliasing. Wait, anti-aliasing?
Mm-hmm.
One of those. There's no makes it blurry on the edge. But the thing is, it doesn't look good if you don't have a big canvas, but if you have a big canvas, you can't really see that anyway, so it looks fine.
Yeah.
And do that for a while, and then it will totally change how you go work with soft brushes. You won't be so muddy anymore.
Right.
Okay, let me see one more.
Oh man.
Is it going too fast?
It's all happening at once.
Oh, good.
Concerning doing character turnarounds, what would you it went away. Sorry.
Oh wait, no, give up.
Wow, there's just raining now. Okay.
What are you drawing, Bob? Have you started yet? Because I don't see this
I am
changing
looking
at all.
Reference. I'm looking at reference.
Oh, okay.
Just gotta get mentally prepared for this.
Sorry, you were saying, Ricardo?
Let me just find it again. It's got lost in all the.
I found it. Concerning doing character turnarounds, what would you say are the most important things to be communicated for a 3D modeler to go further with?
That's a Mark question.
Yeah, it's a Mark question.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Concerning doing character turnarounds, what would you say are the most important things to be communicated for a 3D modeler to go further with?
It really depends of the studio. A lot of studios want turnarounds that are very, very precise, so that it's when you hand it off to the 3D artist, there's no questions asked. Like everything is there, figured out already by the concept artist. So you have no artistic input basically. You just execute. Those types of environments, I mean, it's efficient because it saves time a little bit, I guess, but that's kind of shitty. And then there's the other way where the concept artist is going to be doing a very, very rough concept, and the 3D artist is going to have a lot more artistic input. And by turnarounds, most of the time, at least in my experience, it's never it's never the side, front, back. It's just front, 3/4, a little bit more polished, and then the back view, 3/4 view. That is normally a little bit less polished because you get most of the information that you need from the front view, anyways. So
Nice.
yeah, it's like a front view, a front 3/4 view that is pretty detailed, but still has room for improvement on the details and the smaller stuff, and then the back view that's a little bit more rough, just to give an idea of the shapes. That's pretty much what I've been working with my entire career, and that's pretty cool because then, as a 3D artist, you're not just a brain dead technician. You're actually doing some art.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like
Hey,
that
guys.
thing.
What is it, Jet?
Jay can't come to the phone right now. If you leave
Oh,
your name
okay.
there, he'll get back to you after the beep.
Okay, one creative.
I'm waiting.
Jeez. It's so hard to read the comments.
Yeah.
Why are limbs harder to draw when the character is in a stiff pose? At least for me. Well, wait, harder to draw? I don't understand why they would be
that's
harder.
the other way
Isn't it
around,
easier
right?
if they're in a stiff pose because it's like they're just off to the side?
Because you're amazing. We'll just say
Yeah.
that. Because you're really good. Just practice and then get it done. Get her done.
Cool. Do you have any tips on making cartoon characters simple but easy to tell apart? I'm gonna make an animation series about the crazy dreams I have. It says one creative concept.
Hey.
Do you have making characters simple but easy to tell apart? Well, yeah. I mean, you just go. The more simple you go, the more you have to exaggerate the characteristics of a character. So, are their eyes far apart? Are their eyes close together? Are their eyes big, small, nose, same thing? Is it sharp? Is it and just enhance that. So if the nose is just a circle, then make it really big for a person with a big nose, or really tiny for a person with a small nose, and change the colors of hair and things. That's pretty easy. Add freckles, glasses, stuff like that. More props. Oh, Bob dropped?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Bob dropped.
Hello.
Oh, he'll be okay.
Question: is it normal to experience a few weeks or a month where I get consistently worse at drawing the more I practice until I take a break for a week or two?
Oh, I know that one. I know what that is. That's because your eye is advancing faster than your hand. So you actually think that you're getting worse, but the reality is you're just getting better. You just don't see it, or you're kind of getting stagnant or bored with it. But yeah, so the reason why is because you take a break for a week, and then you just kind of like recoup. And when you come back, you kind of, I don't know. Again, it's when you come back fresh. It's kind of like stepping back from a canvas, or when we zoom out and stuff, we zoom back in and we see things that are different. So yeah, I think that's what it probably is. It's like you're not actually getting worse. It's not. I don't think you can really get worse as you progress forward. It's just you're seeing things in a different perspective.
And also look at it like this. Like if you're doing, you're improving regardless. So you're constantly improving, but in the upward progression, you may have like lower moments and you'll have higher moments, but along the graph, you're constantly going up. You know what I mean? It's like it's not like a linear line going up. It's jagged going up. So it's dropping and going up, dropping and going up. So sometimes you might have drops. So it's not like you constantly climb and climb and you can keep seeing improvements. And that's the struggle. That's my experience anyway.
Never struggled a day in my life.
Yeah, right. I think that's the story of my life.
Story of my life. I never struggled.
Somebody asked Mark if he's ever gonna do a ZBrush tutorial.
Yeah, I get that question at least 20 million times a day.
Yeah.
I will, yes. So that's out there. But meanwhile, you can go onto the ZBrush website, and they have very, very good introductory sort of videos to get you started with it.
They should be paying you too. Damn. Nice plug. I like it. It was really smooth and stuff too. Very professional. Very, very good.
Yeah. You're welcome, Pixologic. Just send me my cut now.
Where's this money?
Endorsed by Bluefley, man.
Sales go up by 50%.
Yeah, right.
Is it easier to get jobs as an illustrator or concept artist?
Concept artist.
Really?
In the industry, at least. In the
Actually, yeah, I guess
game and
you're
videos
right.
industry.
I have no idea.
It's just, well, so at least our description of it is illustrators are the people that are going to be doing promotional pieces.
Right.
So, stuff you're going to see at conventions and
Yeah.
whenever they're releasing on the posters and that kind of stuff. And there aren't that many artists for that because there's not that much to produce. Versus concept artists where you'll need, in a game you'll need hundreds of characters and you'll need a ton of concepts. So it's just the amount of the need of the company.
Need for the concepts. Yeah, there's always new. Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
Someone is asking the difference in concept art for games and for movies. Does anyone know how to answer that?
Oh. Well, yeah, go ahead.
A lot of for movies, a lot of the guys are you need to be to be really good to get a chance at getting hired for a movie. Really, really good, as opposed to video games where the level is not quite as high.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the guys, at least a lot of the really, really good guys, like those top artists on movie sets, they're not movie sets, but working on movies, they use a lot of 3D.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of 3D. So their work's going to be like 50%, 60% 3D, and then they paint over it.
Is this for concepts too?
Yeah.
Concept? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
Yeah, they'll use like Google SketchUp, right?
They use, doesn't
For
really
whatever, right?
Yeah, they use whatever to get it done.
I thought that was pretty common in concept art, just as a whole.
You'd be surprised in at least in video games, not really.
Oh,
There aren't
wow.
that many concept artists that use 3D.
I see. Cool. Well, that's good information for me too. Check that out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone is asking for lighting tutorials. What's the best videos to watch? I would say Sycra has a pretty good video collection on that, right? Light and shadow.
I don't know if it's good.
I
but
would
have
recommend
a
those.
thing on it.
It was good for me, so I'm saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up, Sycra. Take this compliment.
Yeah. He's the worst. Say something nice. Just say something nice to make him mad.
Have any of you made Andreas, have any of you made illustrations for Wizards of the Coast? If so, how's it done? How do you contact them? How's the payment? Is it easy to get hired?
It's not easy to get hired.
Nope.
I've tried, and that didn't work out.
I got rejected too, yay!
Yes, high five.
Me too. Me too. I got a really nice critique though from John.
From John
Awesome.
Chindet. But he doesn't
Yeah.
work there anymore, right?
No, he left. But I emailed him on his last day, and he got back to me, and gave me like an awesome critique and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, what he told me was that when you look at Magic cards, either you need to, well, because you said Wizards, I don't know if you're talking about Magic specifically, but I'm just going to talk about Magic. He said, like, look at the cards, and either you have to be as good as that, like the average, or and do that style. Like, there's a very realistic kind of default style, or you have to be super good. Like if you're like Kekai and you have a bit of your own style, but you're that good, then you're fine. So it's one or the other. It's like either be good enough to be average, which is still really fucking freaking good, or good enough to.
Well, it's that good.
It's just you need to fit. You need to fit the world. That's what he was telling me. He said look at your work and look at what we do, and it's just like, does it fit our brand? Because like they're not gonna try to accommodate to you. They're gonna ask. They want you to accommodate to them. Do you know their brand? Do you know
unless you are that freaking good.
Well,
I mean, that was his thing. Like he said, unless you're the superstar, then we will be like, okay, just do whatever you want. But aside from that, you have to be able to fit what they do exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Actually, I guess there's that. I guess Mullins could work anywhere he wants.
Yeah, absolutely.
Freaking Mullins.
Huh.
No, he's really
seen much from him in a while. You talked to him?
No, he was at a workshop a couple years ago or a year ago.
What? That's crazy. Damn, I need to go to some workshops. Outside is a magical place.
Oh, sweet. There's a question for Amirah. How did you get into Weta Digital, as I also want to follow that path, but maybe as a designer for characters and weapons? Anyway, heard that it is quite tough in Wellington.
Well, first, I'm not really a character artist. I'm a roto artist. So, I mean, I'm not as creative as the rest of the guys. And, well, I think if you want to get into Weta, you probably would need experience first if you're not, like, a local. So, I think they have the information on the website. But, yeah, that's about all I can say.
Speak for yourself. How did you get in?
Well, I'm from Singapore, and I was working in DNAC for almost 3 years. So I was like, okay, I think it's time to explore the world. So I applied to a bunch of companies, and Weta replied to me, and that's how I got it. But that's because I have like a 3 years experience in another company first, like in the movie industry. That's what I mean by experience. It doesn't count if you're not in the VFX industry. So that's for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I don't know what you mean by quite tough. If you mean like the weather, yeah, it's cold for me. But if you mean, I don't know what else. What you
and
mean by
it's
quite
not
tough.
cold at all. It's just cold for her because she's from Singapore.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really hard. She's freezing to death.
Yeah.
Because Singapore.
Yep. So yeah, that's me.
So Amirah, how's Fang doing?
How's what?
I said, how's Fang?
I don't know.
How's Fang and Stanley? Anyway.
I don't know them personally, you guys.
I know.
Moving on.
The embarrassment.
Ricardo, more questions.
Yeah, it's chill now. It calmed down a little. I can't do everything on paper that I can do on a program, like erasing or cutting out colors or painting out lines. So how do you translate that? Wow.
Cutting out lines?
Yeah, I really didn't understand the question.
So they can do that on paper, but they want to know how to do it on digital?
No, it's the other way around. They can do it in digital, but they can't do it on traditional.
Oh, you would basically... Yeah. Traditional artists, man. I mean, they have to be a lot more deliberate, a lot more slow with the process.
Yeah, you gotta plan out things.
Oh my god, they spend a lot of time just planning things out. But definitely, like, things like starting your sketches, rough drafts, and, like, when you scan up your work, you can cut out your actual scans and then like use tracing paper and then trace it over, and then if you don't like it, sometimes they'll take separate scans and then piece them together. So there's a lot of methods, but I'm not so much of a traditional artist. I've been around the environment, in the art school. It's like you see what they're doing, and we kind of play with it. So
what I do think it gives you though is it creates discipline.
Oh yeah.
When I do traditional art, at first it's always a disaster if I've been digital for a while because I'm spoiled. I just want to undo everything or transform things, but then
I tried to undo traditional so many times. It's ridiculous. I'm like, what are my fingers doing?
Yeah. But after a while, what happens is you just get used to it, and you start to slow down because your brain actually knows, like, if I make the wrong line here, I can't undo. So you end up thinking a lot more, and it, in some ways, I don't know, it makes you better.
It helps. Yeah.
It does.
Everything is a learning opportunity. Everything you do, just look for ways to learn and adapt in every other area. That's what I do, at least.
I'm from India. How do I get my work recognized in the
You're from Portugal,
abroad?
Ricardo.
Yeah. So guy is from India, and he's asking how he can get his work recognized to the companies abroad.
Doesn't really matter where you're from. There's this thing called the internet, which is how you get exposure in the first place anyways. So just post your stuff on a bunch of websites and be active within the community, give feedback, ask for feedback nicely, and
most important part right there, nicely. Don't spam people because you want feedback. That's the worst.
And then when there's enough people that sees your stuff, suddenly opportunities start to happen too.
Well, there's a question here for Mark that keeps popping up. I guess I have to read it.
So that is not that's not being good and like respectful. That's spamming.
Yeah.
What is it?
I studied anatomy and I got mediocre with it, and now I started to study how and it went away. Damn. Sorry.
Oh, I see it because there's like a lot of them. I studied anatomy and I got mediocre with it, and now I started to study how to paint anatomy/faces and characters in your style. Is that okay, or should I get really good with anatomy and then learn style? And I'm your biggest fan. Woo!
Well, thank you. You should learn the basics first, and that's. I mean, it's like everything else in life. You start simple, and then you add layers of complexity on top of that when you're comfortable with it. And try to learn your anatomy first before anything else. Might not be the most exciting thing, but
it's never exciting.
If you mix it up with a couple other things that you like.
This question about style keeps popping up every time, and I think, well, in my perspective, style is something it develops from experience. So you just have to practice a lot, and your style will emerge no matter what. It's like your style for walking, for talking, for writing. It's just your way of doing it. Eventually, it will up. I mean, it's not something I think people should worry about, but that's just me.
Yeah, your style's your personal voice.
Yeah.
It's like a fingerprint, really. And if you try to push it too hard in one direction, you might end up kind of falling off the track that you were supposed to be going. Because you're going to do things differently than everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, you can create your style, but you got to know your fundamentals really well before you do that, I feel. Because otherwise, you'll be very limited.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many different ways to approach things. There are people who, all they did, like I know this one person, and all she did is copy J. Scott Campbell. Like, she just became very good at doing J. Scott Campbell's work. But every time I see her work, it's like the hands are slightly off. Like sometimes she'll do a face, and it's like, wow, that is totally awesome. That's amazing. That looks like J. Scott Campbell drew it. But then there's little things, and it's because you don't have foundations. I've seen this a lot where a person will do something, and they've spent all their time copying, but then the perspective is really wonky. So it's what you want to do. If you start too soon with style before you know your foundations, just be aware that you are probably going to create work that looks weird, off.
Yeah. It's quiet now. What is?
How can I render? Constantine asks, how can I render plastic, metal, and cloth in the same piece and make it read with a pencil? Is it even possible? Of course, it's possible. Just got to make sure you got your value, the contrast correct. So metal has a lot more contrast, high contrast than cloth, which has very little contrast between the highlight and the shadow. Or not the highlight and the shadow, but within the highlight and the midtone. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, like get those three things in Photoshop, get rid of the saturation so it turns to black and white, and that's pretty much what you're going to be drawing with your pencil.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's a relevant question about style. Someone asks if style is an issue in the industry at all, if it has a real meaning.
Depends, right?
It depends what industry, but
Yeah, it depends on the industry.
Tell them about it, Sycra, the animation industry.
What about it?
Oh, was that? No, that was. Oh, Jeff is right. Well, if you're like in the animation industry, you know, a lot of animators, they have to mimic the animation's style. So a lot of animators are very versatile because, you know, they have to follow whatever the animator the story style. So
yeah, it's the same, I guess. Yeah, in that way it's the same. Pretty
And
much anywhere you work.
It's really like a pyramid where there's like one guy on the top who is really sought after for his style, but then you have a whole bunch of people who are told like, okay, make it look like his style now. Like you're just there to mimic his style.
Yeah, like the Disney team. I mean, Glenn Keane. He was like the founding father of like most of their Disney movies, and everybody just stuck to his style because.
But I mean, that's the whole thing. You have to be able to do that.
Right.
You get one Glenn Keane and 1,000. Well, we have to animate like Glenn Keane now.
Exactly right. 1,000 of them. So yeah, style does depend on the field. If you're an illustrator making like book covers and stuff, you want to be an individual. You want to be original.
Comic books too.
Illustrator, comic books.
Yeah.
drawing.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it depends on like the beast, more like big time corporations. Yeah.
I guess it's if you're working with other people, you have to. Everybody has to have the same style, right? Otherwise, the whole project is going to look like a complete mess. So if you're working by yourself and it's your style at this point. There's no other input, and if you're working with other people, then you have to adapt to. Either people have to adapt to your style, or you have to adapt to theirs.
Yep.
That's the last one for style. Ever.
Question: Were you good? Were you good at art when you were starting out in art school? I went to go to art school, but I feel like I'm not good enough. I really want to be an artist, but I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that. It says it's 15 years old. You're too old. What the hell? I'm not. Jesus. These questions make me feel really bad.
I'm twice as old as you, buddy.
Yeah, me too.
I'm too old.
I'm 200. Remember that? Come on now.
See. Too old. There's no such thing as too old.
No, if you're 15, you can
You're
do
too
nothing.
young.
You can start drawing at 15 and become amazing within a couple of years.
Yeah. Art Germ summed it up best, which is that it doesn't matter what age you are, but it matters that, when you're older, you might not have as much time to devote to things because you've got other responsibilities. That's all.
Yeah.
When you're a kid, you can join school and not listen to your teacher. and improve that way, while all the other kids are just doing
Food's
that.
on the table.
Oh yeah. I have to feed myself. That's the worst. I plan on retiring from that soon.
Hope that works out
There
for you.
is an artist, Tycoon 10 asks, there's an artist who kept stealing pics from Google and copies it, and he got hired by Applebot. I feel irritated by this. What do you guys think? Huh? There's those people too.
Yeah.
They all get found out eventually.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, there's all types in the industry, you know. There's people who are nice and people who are not, and people who are good and people who are not, and people who copy, and people who are legitimately good. And
In this case,
eventually, the crappy ones, they don't last. But anyway, go ahead.
And I was gonna say it's in this case it's the company's fault. I mean, you run a background on your artist. If you hire this guy, I mean, he got in. It's just good for him, I guess.
I mean, they're usually
He's gonna last for a little bit, and then
they're usually found out as soon as you're given a revision, right? It's like, okay, can you turn the face in this angle because we don't like the angle you have, and then it's like, okay, maybe you do find your Google thing, and it's like each time all you're doing is relying on Google to help you, but eventually that's going to run out. Someone's going to say, this looks like an elephant giraffe, and we want it to look more like a giraffe elephant. And it's like, oh no.
Then it's the end of the road.
The type of problems we go through.
Yeah.
Bob, your pictures are amazing!
Oh, thanks.
the co-pilot's expression.
That's really good, bro.
Thanks.
Nice.
Style. I'm gonna write that down.
There's a question for me.
Yeah.
Ricardo, how did you start in Portugal? I haven't started. I'm still on my way.
Yeah.
It's awesome. People love you.
Mark, do you imagine your sci-fi backgrounds landscapes, or do you draw from experience and then sci-fi-mize them?
Sci-fi mice.
Yeah, normally I start with something that's not sci-fi, and then just add sci-fi, like the sci-fi layer on top of that.
Yeah.
So that's how I approach it.
So you're a professional sci-fi miser.
Yep. Sci-fi mice is my skill.
Pretty good name for like an art channel.
Sci-fi mice. Yeah.
How do you
like it.
guys deal with uncooperative clients?
You just deal with them, man.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the thing that sucks about art,
Yeah.
you have uncooperative clients, or you have revisions that you don't want to do. Like, that's where the fun of art kind of disappears, and it's like, oh, this is a job as well, right?
Yeah, it's a job.
Yeah.
Keyword.
This is a fun question. Do you guys prefer, it's for all of us, do you guys prefer to practice study on traditional or digital mediums?
Both.
Digital.
For me, traditional.
Digital.
Yeah, I've been going digital forever.
Both a tool for me.
Wait, I want to know this too.
Yeah.
You guys prefer digital?
I prefer traditional.
Okay.
I don't even know what pencil looks like.
It's
Don't see
a
one
that
since
long.
1942.
I used to prefer traditional, but recently I can't get out of the digital stuff.
Well, it really matters what you're doing and what you're studying, right?
Yeah.
Like, if I do line, I prefer traditional. If I do values and painting, I prefer digital because I can do more, can play more.
I just do whatever the hell I feel like, but that's just me. I'm kind of Well, I mean, I guess we're all a little bit ADHD, but yeah, I just can't focus on one thing, so I just jump around like crazy. And so whatever's interesting me that day, I'm just like, I'm gonna do that all day long, and then that's all I do. And,
Stargazing Twyland says the lip gloss girl looks like Ohigetan style. Whatever. Do you know what that means, Siege?
I have no idea, but I'm gonna Google.
Ohigetan.
Lip gloss girl.
Yeah, Ricardo. I mean, Siege was painting a
right. Yeah.
girl.
Sure.
Question: do you people feel lonely sometimes being an artist? Well,
well, I found the outside, and so yeah. I should know.
That's racist.
It can.
Racism.
It can get lonely. I mean, it depends on the type of artist that you are. Like, I'm sure that Mark actually sees human beings from time to time. Like, since he actually leaves his home and goes into an office.
He also has a family and like a daughter and stuff, and it's like.
Yeah, different. I mean that kind of stuff helps a little bit, but like when but if you're freelance, yeah, of course, like you might be inside a lot, but I don't know. I recommend like joining community things and getting hobbies outside of art. Because it can get lonely, and sure you're busy and stuff like that, but like you do need a break. It's like it's healthy you need to see the sun or else you'll die. So you should probably go outside and like join something. There's usually a lot of cities have like sketch groups where people that are artists just meet up and sketch for a couple hours at a coffee shop. Like do stuff like that. Where you can get out of the house and see people, even if it's just once a week. It's kind of healthy. Even a life drawing session is a good thing to go to, just to interact with other human beings, so that you don't turn into a hermit, because that can actually do negative things to you psychologically as well.
Yeah, and also if you're having trouble finding people to interact with, take a class, or start up a group. But definitely, if you're like in the collegiate level. Take us like a decent priced city college class. They're not that much. I mean, you meet a lot of people, and it's worth it.
Yeah, getting human beings can really help a lot. Because if you don't see the human beings for a good amount of time, you can fall into depressions, which are never cool because those art block you. And yeah, art blocks suck. So don't do that. Yeah. Because I don't know, there's this kind of this thought where it's like, in order to be the best artist, you need to stay inside like 200 hours a day, and never go outside. Don't take any breaks. Like the only break you're taking is like for food and like occasionally the washroom, but even that can wait. And it's just like that. But reality is like you're gonna find the most inspiration when you leave your house. Like Google can show you some stuff, but like if you want to see how grass works or clouds work, outside is probably gonna teach you a little bit better. So it's like you do need to leave your house. You do need to go and see people and interact with people at least to a small degree.
There's always a price to pay, because like what you were saying, sometimes you don't go to the washroom, but then you have to spend like an hour cleaning up the floor in the chair.
Is that personal thing? Has that happened?
So, CT Chrysler asks, thoughts on the new designs of the Sonic Boom characters?
Boo. Sorry.
I hate them. I don't like it. I think the legs are too long and they look weird.
He missed leg day.
He did.
He missed leg day. That's the main problem with the designs. I'm talking about Knuckles for anybody that hasn't seen it.
Oh shit.
Bear with it asks, how is it to work as a freelancer on a legal term? For example, I would draw and finish a picture and they won't pay me. What then? Well, get them to pay up front, 50% at least.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, that's kind of a hard situation to be in, because like, I mean, of course, there's like, if you signed a contract, then they're bound to you, right? So always have a contract, always. Don't trust people. You're a business. You're not.
Yeah, people are horrible like that. They will exploit you.
Yeah, and as far as contracts, it doesn't actually have to mean like paper. I mean, like paper as in money is a good contract. So like, like the upfront payment, that's good.
Yeah.
That's definitely good. So if you know what I mean, if there's somebody worth trusting, you know what I mean, that's that's good enough. It's like you have the upfront payment. So
Yeah, it helps.
And if you
I've
want to get
always
your,
been-
I was
Oh,
gonna say
sorry,
if you want to get your last payment, just don't send the full resolution
there you
Yeah.
go.
until
Right.
you get the full amount of money. Just send like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
And a
smaller-
huge watermark saying like
Yeah.
sample or something.
There we go.
Yeah, low resolution, smaller picture, and just like so they can see it, but they can't use it for anything.
And that's
Yeah.
your contract.
Because legal fees, like I mean, you could sue, but like legal fees are ridiculous. So
You will be wasting your money for mostly, unless it's. I mean, you can threaten them though.
Yeah, of course. If you know a lawyer that's like a friend of the family, that helps too.
Yeah.
To just send
But
a name.
I do think it's good in the beginning anyway. Like, don't trust them because otherwise you have to go through that learning process anyway. Then where it's like, oh, I got ripped off. Oh, again, okay, screw this. I'm gonna make a contract. Eventually you'll figure it out.
Yeah, I got ripped off once, and it was the first time I ever was just like, yeah, I'll trust you. You seem like a great guy. Wow.
Right.
And then he was all like, he just ran with my stuff, and I was just like, this guy. I was so mad, but he didn't get the high resolution, so I was lucky on that. But I was really mad that I wasted my time. So yeah.
that sucks.
And then there's things that feel like scams, but you're never sure. Like when they ask you for an art test, and it's like, oh, you didn't get in, but it's like, wait,
But I did that work.
Are you gonna use the work?
Yeah, see, at this point, I always ask for paid art tests. If they ask me to do an art test, I'm always just like, I'll do it, but not for free. But yeah, so, and I actually get, like, they actually do it, which is surprising. Well, it was surprising at first. I was very surprised to see that they actually listen.
It depends what it's almost like the good companies will pay you and the bad ones won't. So
Yeah, exactly. And usually you don't want to work with the bad ones, so you can, yeah. It's like, I've already done an art test. Check out my portfolio. I worked on that for a very long time.
Yeah. Get to know the person. Have a few talks and look at their work history and see if they're worth it. And
that's where LinkedIn actually comes in. You can actually use LinkedIn for that too, to check out their actual history a little bit on that, which is kind of interesting because nobody ever uses LinkedIn for what it's used for. That's supposed to be used for.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, man, it's good. Yeah, I mean, what I'm just saying was, don't work for somebody who you can't trust. I mean, it's hard to know who you can trust, but definitely look for signs of fraud. It's like, yeah, I'll get you to payment, later. Don't worry, just do it. Like the way they word it and just.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of nope involved with that one. No, I'll pay you eventually. We'll pay you at the end. Yeah.
Or I'll pay you when we raise enough money.
Right. We're successful. We'll pay.
Run a Kickstarter.
Yeah, you will never, ever, ever, ever see money from those. Maybe once, like if you're really lucky, but yeah, most of the time they flop.
Do you need another prompt, Bob?
Yep, I need another prompt.
All right.
Bob's so funny.
Bob just spits the stuff out.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Sycra, Jet, Bob, and everyone else, my friends, and I really appreciate these streams. My buddy Scruffy says hi.
Hello. Hey, what's up, Scruffy?
Hello.
How you doing, man?
Oh man, I'm gonna have to scroll really high to find a prompt for you.
Take your time.
No, really.
I love you, Scruffy. I was listening to Thomas the Tank Engine remixes. It's really awesome.
What should your portfolio as a concept artist consist of?
Whatever you want to do as a job.
Yeah.
It's what you should put in your portfolio.
Yeah.
If you want to be an environment artist for video games, don't go put characters in there.
Yeah.
I made that mistake.
Yeah, and it can be very straightforward things, but we can still miss them, Or like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's always like that though. It's always the things that we consider to be common sense that are not common sense.
Yeah.
It's just common to us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sycra, did you finish animation school?
Sycra.
Is here?
I think he might be.
Oh, there he is.
Are you still?
Yes,
Are you
no.
busy looking for the prompt?
I don't know. This is horrible. This is.
What's up?
What is going on? What's
No
horrible?
idea.
Oh, there. Am I back? Am I back?
Yeah, you've been back.
Yeah.
You never left.
You've been here.
You
Yeah,
never
we're just
left,
listening
bro.
to you.
No, 'cause what was happening is I was hearing things like
Okay.
and then it's like, oh no, what is going on?
Right.
So what? Okay, Bob Meatbag can draw a Brad Rigney character. There's a Brad Rigney character? I thought he just does magic stuff. Anyway, Bob, please draw a soap having soup.
A soap
Jose
having
Luna
soup.
wants you to draw a soap having soup. Someone else said draw a centaur driving a car. Someone else said draw a pack of otters slaying Hydra.
I love how most of them rhyme.
Shampoo beating up a hobo on a train. Why is it shampoo and soap like as if these?
All
Like,
right,
this-
I'll do those two. I'll do those two. Soap, drinking soup.
having
I think.
soup and,
Yeah.
and a shampoo beating up a hobo on a train.
Yeah, yeah.
Shampoo beating?
Yeah, I know. I don't understand what's with their imaginations.
This is your audience, man. I don't
Draw
know.
a toothpaste getting a massage. Actually, that would be pretty good. Imagine it like a Korean massage girl giving a toothpaste a massage, and like he's so relaxed and his stuff comes out. But that. I realized it. It's like, oh, I see.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's just change the rating of this room.
So what? Did I finish animation school? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was only 1 year though, so you know.
Thug life.
Mhm.
Animation
Oh,
school.
comments are just rushing in.
Hey, we've done something right.
So Siege,
Wow.
I wanted to ask, what's your process? What goes through your mind when you're making these pictures?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing.
No, I think of mood, and I try to tell story with mood. That's mostly it, really. Like, yeah, that's actually it. I just think of a mood because, like, I want to tell a story. It became like my obsession after a while. Like, but I don't really want to do. I'd never really wanted to do sequential work, but I still wanted to tell stories. So I figured, how can I tell a story with just like a character or a face or even like a hand or something like that? There has to be a way. So I started kind of focus. So before I started work, I don't really plan it out so hard. I just start thinking about how to tell a story with the expression or the body language or something like that, and then I just kind of let the painting do what it wants to do.
And you don't really have a start with a head or start with. You just seem to start wherever, right?
Yeah, I start wherever I feel like it or wherever the picture wants to go.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you guys suggest realistic details in a painting, mostly environments?
Wait, what?
How do you guys suggest? Oh, I get it. How do you
Oh, I
suggest
get it.
realistic details in a painting? You know what I would do is do photo studies and zoom out on the photo studies a bit, so you don't get the chance to see like every leaf on the tree, and then you'll be seeing it as bigger shapes because you have to, and then just copy that, and that's how you'll learn how to simplify. I mean, this is something someone asked me in my last video. They kept saying, why do you keep zooming out? Well, because it's super important. It's so helpful to see the big picture, and so when I start images, even for when I do it, even for gestures, I take advantage of digital and I shrink the thing as small as I can, so I can get like the biggest picture possible, and I cannot go into details because my brush doesn't allow me. It's too small. That's how I do it. Well, what is that sound? Someone microwaving something?
Somebody's in the street.
Oh.
Ricardo is the girl in the group. What the hell?
The guy with one of the deepest voices is the girl. Wow. I don't want to know what's the man.
I'm
I'm
not the
the man.
girl.
It would be you.
I'm not
The only one who's got a deeper voice.
Amirah clearly is the man of the group. Okay.
Yes, clearly.
Clearly,
She is the one who wears the pants.
logically speaking.
Right.
Hey, Costa, meet Seage.
What? Oh my god.
Me bluefley.
Hello.
Question by. Oh God, you got feedback. Fix that.
I will. Who is there?
Okay. The Tallulah13 asks, how bad did all of you used to draw?
Ooh.
How bad did we used
Oh.
to draw? Ooh! I
That
used
was
to draw so
terrible.
bad. My teacher looked at my picture and she's blind now.
He said, "Ooh, you bad."
Oops. Maybe I can pull up one of my old drawings from like.
Oh,
yeah.
that would be awesome.
Let me see if I can do that.
Oh.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Some of my old DeviantArt.
No, I look at like some of the worst drawings out there, and I'm like, that was me. I was
Yeah.
there. That's it. Really, pick your
Yeah.
worst. Pick any of them.
My recent DeviantArt stuff. I was there. Beginning of the ages.
Oh my god. Okay, I just found 2 drawings. I don't know. I'm gonna just put them on
Alright.
screen right now. All right. So we have this one. This was I worked real hard on this.
I mean,
This is the actual size. It's available for print. You guys can pick it up in my store. And then we got this one.
Why can't I see it?
Oh
I st-
man.
Oh man.
I keep burning the ones that I didn't like. So.
Oh really? Yeah, I started
I like
traditionally
the
first.
2 hats. The 2 hats really help.
Wow.
I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah,
Dude, how
so
long was this?
this one was like probably maybe like 7 hours. I worked real hard.
No, how long
yeah.
ago? How long ago did you?
Oh, how long ago? This was back in 2005, and then we have this one. This was like my first
Wow.
Wow.
my first
Wow.
full figure.
So fast.
You improved a lot, Siege.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Definitely.
You know what? You are my new biggest success story. Because before you was Jonathan Hardesty, Mind Candy Man on concept art, and he was the biggest inspiration for how much he improved. But I think you win now.
Cool, I won something.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, this was my first full body thing. I say it's a thing because I don't know what this is.
Is
And,
that a female genitalia or male genitalia?
We'll just leave that up to the
Or both at
imagination.
the same time.
Bam. Look. Do you see that? I was working on my perspective, as you can see here. So yeah, I just
Oh, we should. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh because people might be at this stage, and it's
Of
nothing
course,
to
of
laugh
course.
at. It's just normal.
yeah. It's just the thing is, it's like you're going to grow. That's how it is. Oh, actually, I got one more thing to show. One more thing. I used to make this comic called Puffs, and they were called Puff Puffs. And I worked so hard. I used a mouse to draw them all, and then somebody came on and said, "This is the worst comic I've ever seen. Kill yourself." And I like.
Wow.
This is going to be the best e-comic. Hey, I resent that. No, it was going to be the best, but then you killed all Chocobos of success with your presence. You're just jealous because I'm cute. Every inch of my being hates you right now. You know what?
Wait, is
the
Jeff
art,
here?
the art's changed, but the you hasn't changed. I hear you in there, totally.
Nice. I'm
I
still
hear
here,
Siege.
guys. Yeah, but I mean, I continued. I was really sad. I was all like, it was my first negative comment. I was just like, I kind of want to quit art now, but then I didn't.
Aw.
And I stuck with it, and now I'm at my level, and that person is probably working at McDonald's
Right on.
forever, lifelong job.
Man,
ago was that?
Oh, I don't know that one. That was probably like 2007 or something. Yeah.
so that
about
was
6
that was
years?
2 years. That was 2 years after the first one. That's good. That's progress.
Yeah. So yeah, just keep working and join communities. That's what I did. Communities saved me.
I feel bad. I was like when I was not. I didn't have nearly any improvement compared to you then.
What?
Oh,
Come on, son. Come on, son.
Somebody is asking how old were you at that time?
Oh, I don't know.
35 years old.
All right, I am 27 now. All right, math people, go.
You were 19.
Oh wow, ew.
Really?
So I had hopes and dreams. Yeah, no. I mean, my teachers told me to quit a lot. So
27
you know,
minus
Wow.
18.
but
Terrible.
18. Yeah.
no, I didn't listen to their junk, and now look at me. I go to sleep on bags of cash every night from all the money that I'm making from this art.
People are gonna believe you, Seage.
People are gonna believe you, man.
You should let them know that you're lying, because people will totally
I'm lying.
believe
Please don't rob me. Please don't come here and hurt me. Thank you.
So Mark,
How did you?
oh,
Go.
I was
No,
just
go ahead.
gonna
Go
ask,
ahead.
like, when do you move it into Photoshop?
Oh, you're keeping track? Okay, right now then.
Oh no! I was just curious. Like, is there a? Like, I'm not trying to force you into something. I'm just like, asking.
It's peer pressure.
There's no time in particular. I'm just getting distracted now, but I could probably go in Photoshop right now. I have enough information in here. Alright, yeah, let's do that.
It looks really cool. It reminds me of the Shinra guys from Final Fantasy VII, the soldiers.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, it reminds me of Jinro.
Oh.
Killzone, maybe? A bit.
Magic the Gathering? What?
Evangelion?
Yes. Nice. Talking my language.
So, Evangelion desu!
はい、そうですね。
はい。
はい。そうです。
Question, how did you guys learn study perspective? Was it tough to learn, and how long it took to get a grasp of it? Would like to hear for everyone experience if possible, says Fade Magus. Oh man, for me it was brutally difficult. I was so hard. I spent all my time looking at Loomis's, because I started with Loomis, so I just kept studying it, and I did not get it. It was hard, and then I had to see someone show me the room we were in. She just started drawing out the room and putting down the horizon, so I could literally see, as she's making the lines, what they were, and it's like, I get it! These lines are converging to a common point. Right.
Big people words.
Oh, specular highlights. Well, it's because when people used to always say, like, oh, put specular highlights, I'm like, whoa, what's specular highlights? That sounds smart. And I really didn't understand that. It's like, oh, those little dot highlights, I've been using those forever. Why don't you just call them little white dot highlights?
Right.
Little white dot highlights. I love it. Perspective for me, I was, yeah, I don't know perspective. I don't know what. I can't even answer that question. My friend is teaching me. That's all I can say about perspective. My buddy helps me out with it, and then also there's a few books on it too. There's this, what is it, Perspective for the Comic Artist or something? Or I don't know. It's like a comic book, but it's all perspective, and it's really fun to read. And it was just like, wow, I actually understand what's going on in this. So it's really cool. Yeah. And if you know an architect, hang out with them a lot. They're amazing.
What does that sound?
What is that?
That's a chair, right? I hope that's a chair.
I hope that's a chair because
Like someone's torturing a puppy? Question, Mark, you work in Blizzard. Does that mean I work with Anthony Jones too? I heard he works there. I think you work with Anthony Jones. Do you work with Anthony Jones? I heard he works there. Mark is not able to come to the phone right now. Oh shit, don't do accents, right? Sorry.
It's cool, man.
Did you just now remember that?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Scott Robertson's book, How to Draw, has been an insanely useful for me on perspective. Yeah, I could imagine.
Ooh, yeah.
I have the book, but I haven't opened it yet, so...
How long do you guys draw per day?
Man, I wish Cynics was here to answer that.
Oh my god.
No, that's a beautiful one for him.
Cynics draws, what, once a year, once a month?
He doesn't draw. He never draws.
Just doesn't do anything.
He just
I hate
gets
that guy.
better. He sits around and gets better.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, all this Call of Duty has made me really, really good at drawing.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
He'll just watch movies and then he'll be like, huh, I wonder if I could paint like Rembrandt now. Yup.
Yup.
Looks like.
Looks like. What's going on?
He just hits the easy button on his desktop.
better.
And he's done.
There are people like that. It's really frustrating. There was a guy in my animation school. He didn't come to class very often and didn't do much, and then it's like he animates, and so that's amazing. Just really amazing. But anyway. What is this that you're in right now, Mark? Keyshot.
Yeah, it's just a rendering program.
Oh.
You bring in your models, and then you tweak the lighting, tweak the shaders. Then I use that as a base for my for the next step. Now I'm just tweaking the lights, increasing this thing.
How long do we think we're going for today?
What was that? Oh.
Well, it's almost been 2 hours, so how long do you guys have? Because I will respect you guys' time.
Oh, it's up to you guys.
There's a lot of people here, so there's enough people that even if like 3 people drop, it still should be able to continue, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I have nothing else to do, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I made my day free.
Yeah. I'm good.
Your whole day?
My whole day. I'm excited about this. I take this seriously.
Kit Kat asks, what courses do you guys recommend for people going to college/university majoring and doing concept arts? They teach concept art in university now? Wow.
Some of them. Some schools teach concept art, yeah.
Wow.
But,
Yeah, I studied concept art.
It depends, again, on what you actually want to do in concept art. I'm pretty sure. It's like, yeah, it just depends on what you actually
Pretty sure it's a waste of money.
Say what?
It's a waste of money?
It's a waste of money?
Yeah, I mean, just, yeah. Depends how much you're paying, right? Depends where you're from and what school you're attending, but in most cases in the United States, it's a waste of money. Because you'll be paying back this stuff like your entire life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened to you, right,
USA.
Jeff?
That's happening to me.
Oh.
Oh, it's happening. Oh,
See, it happens everywhere.
Again.
no.
Although I know there's some countries that pay for you to go to school. Like in Europe.
There are, yeah. I think
pay
France is free if you're in France, but you have to be really good. So there's that.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's insane though. Like, to be paid to go to school, that's amazing. Like,
Yeah, sounds like a
Seth
great
Houston
deal.
says concept art seems to be the new dream job. Yeah, Yeah, I totally know what you mean. Everyone's like, what do you want to do? Concept artist or... And then they'll say or, and then a completely different field.
Or a florist. I was like, well, I mean, I kind of... Concept art's kind of cool, I guess.
I want to do concept art or comic books. Well, which one is it? Or I want to work on anime. Oh, that's different. They're all very different things.
In Poland, art schools are free. Wow.
Yeah, see, there we go. That's awesome.
You get what you pay for, right?
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm kidding.
Ooh.
Why did you have to ooh?
Sorry. Shots fired. I have to.
I hate when people ooh, like, you know? Hey.
I'm hungry. Ooh.
You're ugly. Ooh. It's like, cause then it's like, oh wait, I was just gonna brush this off, but now do I have to fight? What?
It's like, damn, now I have to fight. God,
I have to fight. Every
time.
Somebody's asking Jetty to sing.
Oh, Jet can sing.
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
Not today. Not today. I lost my voice.
Oh really? Oh, from all that hanging out and birthdays.
Yeah.
It can do that to a voice. Yeah.
Yeah. This is the art channel. Come on now.
Yeah, Jet. It's not like you put singing videos on an art channel.
Hey, come on now. I moved from that channel, man. If you guys don't know already, I moved.
Yeah, he's got a new channel now. Go follow the new one.
He's not gonna be singing. You're not singing on your new channel?
Oh no. Maybe sometimes. It's just out.
Maybe from time to time. Oh right, don't do accents.
How does that keep happening?
I love your accents, man.
So you guys think we can work as a pro artist without going to an art school? Well, Bluefley, did you go to an art school?
Nope.
Oh, I went to an animation school for a year, but I don't think that counts because I didn't learn art.
Yeah, I went to animation school, exactly the same thing.
I learned.
I'm not doing animation, so.
I learned X-Sheet.
That's true.
And
Yep.
I learned how to do timing and spacing.
Yeah.
But I did not learn how to draw. What is it? Did you look in the mirror?
No, my painting. Not the mirror this time.
Oh.
Somebody's asking if we're all self-sustaining professionals.
I don't know about sustaining.
I think Bluefley and Amirah are able to.
Well, I am, but not on drawing, not on art.
Yeah, you're a therapist.
Yes.
He is the rapist. And I'm just getting by, like barely getting by. Because I don't want to go to a studio, so I'm being stupid.
I'll probably be dead next week.
Really commented.
It's not funny. No, I'm joking.
It's actually true.
This is real, guys. This is real life. Don't play me like this.
Trunk says, Sycra, will you make an X-Sheet tutorial? I'm really into animation. I don't remember anything.
What is this egg sheet thing?
No, X, like the letter X.
Oh, X. I was like, what's this egg sheet? I was like, that sounds delicious.
No, X-Sheet is where you write down all the keyframes and the in-betweens and when the things are going to happen in the thing, and then you circle certain ones, which I forget which you circle in red.
Okay.
Do you remember, Bob?
Barely.
Like
Don't ask me about those things.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Okay. Do you see any questions, Ricardo?
No, it's slow right now. They all pop up at the same time.
Yeah, I gotta say it's not even that the chat's actually slow. It's just it is that the chat's slow. It's not people though. At first I thought it was people slowing down, but then I'm like, oh no, it's just the chat like doing its little catch up thing. They just hit you with a million comments.
I really like your pictures, Bob. You always know what shot to, like, where the camera is.
Wow.
So cool.
This one was a bit more difficult to pull off.
It's just a
See,
shout.
you do that. Oh, big car coming out.
Sorry guys, that was me driving to my house again.
Seage, you did that from scratch over here?
Yeah.
I haven't followed it. Yeah, it's looking great.
Thanks. I had to like blur out stuff because it was looking ugly.
Oh, I guess everyone's drawing.
I'm not drawing. Ricardo, you don't have to draw. Don't draw. No.
Yeah, no.
You're not gonna get better, Ricardo. Just give up.
Yeah. no, it's just
It's a lesson in dealing with naysayers.
It's all downhill from here.
Remember Siege's improvement? He's the only one who will ever have that improvement in the whole world. He's the exception to the rule. Give up now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Patrick Belzak says, is it bad for me if I'm drawing with some kind of schedule, like day 1 eyes, day 2 body parts? Is it a good way to improve in drawing? I'm asking because I feel like drawing only parts won't help. That does help. I find a good way to do it is to, if you're going to draw parts that are connected to other parts. For instance, you could draw the hand, and then you can draw the forearm, because it's connected, and then the elbow, and then the upper arm, and then the torso, or... that's you don't have to.
I think there's something we should tackle in here.
What is that?
Someone is asking: is art school really as useful as you sound it out to be?
What?
I think something that needs.
We're not saying art school is useless. I think
useless.
you should put it out. Yeah.
I think it's really dependent on what art school. There is no such thing as art school as one thing,
Yeah.
It's like saying, are art teachers good? Well, what? Which art teacher?
Right.
And and it's the same thing with art school, is dependent on who's teaching. Even if it's the same school and you happen to get a not as good teacher, I'm not going to say names, but
Say it.
I'm not gonna. I'm not saying, and I'm not super saying.
Hey.
Are you Super Saiyan? Simon.
Okay, Tekun 10. Do people get girls from doing art?
Yes.
Yeah.
All the time.
Oh,
That's what I do to get girls. I serenade them with my art.
It's the reason I got into it, because I know I'd get all the bitches.
So this is the way it works, right? So you go to like to a mall or something, right? And then you go up to like the prettiest girl you can find, and you're just like, hey baby, let me draw you. And then like after they finish like having like a minor mental breakdown, they'll be like, okay, and then they'll just come with you anywhere you want them to go, and they'll let you draw them naked. That's
insane.
Yeah, that's the way that's what I did to get my girlfriend, and I don't think she remembers that part though. But
it was too amazing.
It was too amazing. It was her mind just started to melt, and that was it for her. She knew that I was the one, because she's just like, he's an artist, he'll be rich in the future, and that was like, she just knew that she had to be with me after that.
You're much more suave than I am. I just chloroform the girl and then.
I didn't say chloroform wasn't part of the equation, but yeah. So yeah.
Sometimes it is needed.
What?
Bob! That sounds too real coming from you!
Well, you do what you gotta do.
To be serious though, I mean, I don't think it matters what you do really. Like when it comes to getting another person, you can, as long as you're
making money.
As long as you got
really
all
rich,
people care about.
As long as you're rich, yeah, you'll be fine. No, what? Come on, man. I'll teach everybody how to get a partner on my channel. I'm not even joking. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make a series how to get a girlfriend as an artist or how to get a boyfriend as an artist.
My God, finally a reason to subscribe to you.
Yes, that is the main reason. And if you're in a relationship, how to stay in a relationship as an artist. The end of it.
Yeah.
What not to do in art school. Dating.
Someone is asking if we'll do critiques if someone is struggling. Are you guys even interested in that, or will stay away
I just feel bad because it's like if we do one, we have to do a lot. But
a lot, yeah, and it's a never-ending, yeah.
Because I don't mind doing one or two, but
Because if people can deal with that.
Yeah, people don't mind, and if there's not going to be a... That's not fair! I wanted to critique my work!
That's it. Unsubscribing. I'm out of here.
I didn't critique my work. I asked him a question, and he didn't answer me, and he's a jerk. Sincerely, Francisco.
And a racist. That's it. Just try to ruin your whole career.
It's like, are you getting comments at all? Cause
yeah. Okay, do you guys have any advice or tips to get in the industry? I think we did answer that quite a bit, I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of tips on that. At least a lot of tips have been given.
Yeah, get good, be nice, have some social skills if you want to work in a studio, and
network.
Portfolio, and cater to your whatever studio you're going to, whatever job you're applying to, cater to that company.
The network.
Don't ever be cocky.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, that's why you're not getting hired, Seage.
That is why I'm not getting hired. I'm sorry, everybody. I apologize from the bottom of my heart.
And you gotta eat your vegetables. That's really important.
Oh yeah, the vegetables are important.
0KNX0 asks, what do you guys do if you receive a harsh critique from a client? The type, in quotes, "This is garbage. I'm not paying you for this." Wow, I have never got that from a client. Never.
Well, have them pay up front. That's all there is to it.
I've had, this isn't exactly what we're looking for, or can you take it in a different direction? But I've never had, "This is garbage. I'm not paying you for this." That sounds like you're just in an abusive relationship now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You probably should not be working with this client.
And you should probably have some money
that's just
already.
lack of professionalism altogether.
Paid up front.
Yeah.
Yeah, go good.
So maybe he was lying, you know? Maybe he really liked it, and he's using it. Just didn't feel like paying it.
What a jerk.
That happens.
Maybe it really was garbage, who knows, but...
But nobody here is saying that. That's, yeah.
I'm not paying you for this. Wow, that is a really long bow, Jet. Wow.
It's kind of long, yeah.
Wow. Nice.
That's like a Final Fantasy VII bow and arrow. Or else she's like a really tiny little girl.
She's gonna have trouble. Well, she can go through doorways. She's gotta go.
Oh. It's raining now.
Cool.
What? Somebody. No, I'm not gonna answer that.
What is the question?
Was it? No.
Someone is asking a really specific question that is not relevant right now.
Oh, I see. Ricardo, why aren't you answering my calls?
What? What? Ricardo, pick up the phone. I know you're home. I can listen to you on the stream.
Not now, Mom.
Ricardo, abre la boca. Ricardo, yes. Do you have to be someone that has good social skills or a good talker to get into the industry, or can I keep my antisocial lifestyle? I think Mark answered this.
Yes, you can't be awkward. If you're
Yeah.
too weird, if you have, you need a minimum.
Sorry, Bob.
It's kind of like a.
That means I can't make it in the industry. It's over for me.
If you're really, really, really good, you need a minimum still of social skills. If you're really, really bad, you need a lot of social skills. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, I think it's the same for everything, right?
That's how I gain friends, social skills, because my skills aren't doing anything for me.
Yeah, like being an artist, at least working at a studio, it's not like any different from other jobs. It's the same deal.
Yeah.
Just because there's the word artist in there doesn't mean people behave differently or that they expect different from you. You're expected to work with other people. Same as being like a banker. Or...
Being an artist is like being a banker. There you go.
the worst comparison possible.
Yeah.
I do find it kind of funny when there's like people who go into art school and it's sort of to rebel, and then they realize the art school is preparing them for a job that's just like every other job.
Yeah. Right. It's true.
Why do you guys think animes are unappealing in Western society? Is it because their guys look like sissy faggots?
Ricardo!
What?
Ricardo!
I didn't before I was done to reading it. Sorry.
That is an ignorant question. You are ignorant.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's very ignorant. Should we even answer that? Or is it just
No.
I don't even agree with it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Anime is awesome.
Anime is awesome.
Yeah, anime is awesome.
Come on now.
Anime is awesome.
Kind of late.
Darn! One more time, guys. Come on.
Sorry, man. The bus left.
There's a lot of questions now. Bob, could you draw Ash getting sucked into a Pokeball?
That's an awesome idea.
Maybe this one. I gotta finish this one up first.
Oh man, today I had this dream, like yesterday, today, whatever. I had this dream, and it was basically that I was hired to create the next Pokemon game, and it was tough. Like basically I had this team, and I had to do the writing and the basic gameplay and all this, the mechanics, and it was really hard because you're thinking like, on the face of it, it sounds like, oh, this is easy, and then I was thinking, how would I make this game better and stuff? But then it's really difficult. It's very solid. It's like what
This
they've
is
done.
all
is
in your dream?
Yeah. Anyway,
Nice.
being an artist is like being a pencil. You die. Wait, that's for humans. No, wait. Thanks, Cherry Chan 209.
Great input.
Oh, I like that one. That was good.
Oh, it's
I don't think
Tekun-tan who
I-
said that silliness. Okay. Alright.
What do you guys think about the Cintiq companion? I just asked this because I want to hear it too.
I heard good things from my friends who have it. I do not have enough money to afford it. So.
What?
I'm poor as
Cintiq companion.
Oh. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
You have one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
so
good.
casual too. Yeah, no, it's cool. Whatever.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
All of us poor people.
Just lying there.
it's like a real Cintiq, except it's portable. So yeah, it's awesome.
That's good. Question, guys and female Ricardo, how would how would you recommend breaking study time and execution time? I've become a zombie and struggle with ideas unless it's muscle guy with sword or half naked girl. Well, if you want to work for wizards, that's all you need. No, but really, how do you break study time and execution time? Schedule.
Wow.
Like, I give myself a certain amount of time that I study every day, and then the rest is execution time.
Yeah.
I study while I do my paintings.
Ooh.
I never actually study.
Yeah.
Just like you do
Who,
something.
who said that?
uncomfortable.
Who said that? Is that bluefley? Is that bluefley again?
Is it him?
What I'm saying
Beat
is,
him up.
you do something you're comfortable with, and then you add an element that you're not comfortable with. So you're studying that particular element while you're still having fun doing shit that you're used to do.
So in that, what are you doing right now that is a new element in this thing?
Nothing is new in here. I'm streaming. I don't want to make a fool out of myself.
You're smart. You are smart.
That's it.
That idea never crossed my mind. Like, don't make a fool of yourself. Don't do something new. I'm like, I haven't done a painting in a long time. Let me do a painting.
Yeah.
And then stream it. Oh. Not stream. Anyway, do you think an artist who uses free software can survive in a competitive environment while most artists use expensive software, Photoshop and Maya? Well, you know. I'm not saying, but, you know, not everybody pays for those programs.
Hey, and another thing,
Heard of such a concept.
if you're making money from your job, why not use it to pay for a software?
My buddy doesn't is using a free software. Actually, most people know. Most people are freaking out over who he was in the chat. But yeah, he uses a GIMP. All of his pieces, and it's free, and he's really good.
Oh, I know who your buddy is.
Yeah.
It's CT Chrysler.
It's CT Chrysler. Yeah, he uses GIMP, and it's free. And if you look at his work, it's amazing. So obviously, you know, it's like, yeah, if you can do it, then do it.
You guys should check out CT Chrysler's channel. It's real cool.
Yeah, he makes music for my channel.
Good job. Good job.
He's an awesome artist. Yeah.
Is it good to... Okay, Raphael Doram asks, is it good to draw from imagination for practice, or is it better to do more work from reference? I feel better when trying to do from imagination.
Unless your imagination is as accurate as reality, no, it's not good. Because you're not improving when you're doing that.
Oh, that one.
Oh, the good
I think
one.
both. I think a mix.
I mean, it's good. Well, you know, it's always the same. Like you learn something and then you try to recall it, and then obviously you're not going to recall it perfectly. So then you go back to what you actually saw, and then you study a little bit more, and then you try to recall it again. And at some point, you can draw it pretty good, but you have to go through that process.
Yeah.
Unless you're God.
Unless you're God.
Or Kim Jong-gi.
Or Kim Jong-gi.
Yeah.
Same difference. CT says, Seage is the buddy guy.
Yes.
You're the buddy guy friend person.
Seage, you my friend, you are my buddy guy.
Okay, USA.
My Mac 2011 asks, is FZD a good school? Drums.
Oh boy.
Who knows? You guys ever been?
I never went. I ain't saying nothing. All I'll say is do your research. There are articles out there.
Yeah, ask other students. Ask people that have been there.
Yep.
Try to find them, hunt them down, then capture them, and then interrogate them.
Yeah, hold them prisoner.
Make them say
and draw
everything
them.
they know.
And then tell them, marry me. Draw. I drew you.
And that's how you'll find your wife or husband.
One day.
And if they disagree, you could always bring out the chloroform.
It's always back to
Again. Eventually they'll get tired. It's like, do we have to do this again? No, let me go. Just have to say those 2 words.
You know what they are. Anyways.
Have any of you done any animation or art related to animation? Are there any tips you have for animation related art? I mean, kind of, yeah. I don't know what you mean by any tips you have for animation-related art. I think it's more industry stuff. I mean, animation school I think does help when you're getting into an into the animation industry, because animation is kind of one of those things that you need to know a lot of things just to be able to work. So. Is Full Sail University Satan?
Yes.
You were waiting for that, huh?
That was an awesome response.
That's a yes or no answer. Perfect.
Nobody's business, says Bob. You're the meat. Whatever
Yes,
that
I am.
means. Drop Cucumber Cowboy Batman. What?
Wait, what? Cucumber Cowboy Batman. Oh, now that's an interesting topic.
Oh, you're gonna do it?
Yeah.
Alright, alright. Sycra, what do you think is better for a semi-manga artist? Manga studio or illustrator? I mean, in the time it takes to learn it. I would say manga studio. It's really designed for manga artists, so.
Wait, are they talking about Adobe Illustrator?
I think so.
Yeah, I wouldn't use that for drawing ever. I mean, that's a vector-based program. I mean, like, you're better off if you're just doing graphic design than that.
Realer Than Most says, Bluefley, Bluefley, any advice on how to prepare for 3D game art course?
I mean, there's a shit ton of stuff you can find online that, you know, gets a good introduction to Maya and ZBrush and you know, those kind of programs you're gonna use during class. The best ones are Nomen Workshop. They have really good DVDs. You know, that for introductions to those programs. So that's what I would recommend.
Okay. Shiroi Akuma-sama says, or asks, why is the girl, not Ricardo, so silent in the group?
Are they talking about me?
Amirah?
I think that's for Amirah, yeah.
I'm just listening.
She's
they're
really shy. She was shy when I first met her, and she's still shy.
Sorry.
How long has that been now?
2:30? 2 hours 30?
Wait, what?
What?
I mean,
Oh,
how long have you known?
How long have I
How long
known?
have you known? Yeah.
I don't know, 2:30? 2 years 30? I don't know.
Years and change? I don't know. Yeah.
Bluefley, what do you study to get better at sci-fi stuff? Thanks. Asked Wesley Sirkine.
I study other artists that do it much better than I do. That's my secret.
He looks at his old drawings.
No.
I'm sorry, that was a dick thing to say.
You know, anything that has cool, you know, mechanical components like a, you know, motorcycle or like real robots, you know, like medical robots, you know, that kind of stuff. There's always a lot of cool things you can steal from that, and yeah, the other part is just other artists that are way better.
Okay. Seth Houston asks, this has been the third time I've asked this under the flood of comments, but how have you all met each other and come together to do these live streams?
Oh, it's the AA, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we've known each other.
I think we're all in the restroom at the same time at some point.
And we grew up together in the same neighborhood, so it just worked out.
All to school together.
Obviously.
Obviously.
I don't know. It just happened.
Just happened, man. Just happened.
If you are not. Question: if you are not bluefley, what is the most basic type of practice that you do? I think it's for all bluefley.
That's the question to everyone except.
I think for me it is like drawing people, life drawing, kind of. Like I don't go to real life drawing anymore because it's too far from, and I'm lazy. But yeah, just drawing people, anatomy and stuff.
Drawing people, me too.
Mhm. I've just been working a lot. I mean, projects you work on might help you improve, but
Danny with Nuggets, why don't you want to go to a studio, Sycra?
Yeah, why?
Because I don't think I would work well with others. I feel like I really enjoy waking up at random times. And
Who would prefer that? Who would prefer the freedom?
I don't know, Bluefley. So tell me about your childhood. How many years has it been?
I remember Cage.
And do you remember why you deserve put in that cage?
I just kind of liked it.
It's because you were a bad boy, wasn't it?
No.
Stop it!
That's
Stop
right.
it!
Photoshop
You
versus
think learning human?
Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Photoshop versus Manga Studio for painting, right? Photoshop.
Yeah.
I would say Photoshop. For painting, Photoshop.
I never
For
tried
drawing,
Manga
maybe
Studio,
Manga
so-
Studio.
Everything Photoshop.
Do you think learning human anatomy is essential to animation, 2D traditional? Basic, yeah. I don't think you have to go too deep for animation, but you need the basics.
Yeah,
And there's certain anatomy is more important than others. Like, understanding the rib cage is really important in animation.
I understand nothing.
understand nothing.
What's that noise? It's like,
I really don't know.
That's just me breathing.
oh, I see. That's good.
Yeah. I'm alive.
Sounds healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, he's fighting the Joker?
Yeah.
That's nice. I'm Cowboy Cucumber Batman.
Ricardo!
I need to see this. Oh, that's so good. Oh my god.
You did it. You did it.
Did it again.
So Bluefley, if someone wanted to learn how to do that shiny glow that you did in the eye of this robot thing,
Yes.
would there be a channel on YouTube that they actually could go to find out how to do really cool effects like that?
Hey! Funny you ask. One place you can find this.
Only one, you guys.
Just one.
And it's my channel.
Oh, wow.
What a coincidence!
Bluefley 00. And yeah, I have a video I did this week on that very topic.
Damn.
That's fucking sick.
Because I knew the question was coming.
Oh, your friend set you up, didn't he?
Who said that?
It was a plot.
Oh man, that's a good idea. Where's my friend?
Hey, Jet.
Yes, sir.
Your anime picture. I sometimes think, is there a place I could learn how to draw?
Well, friend. I mean, stranger. No, we've already done that. Thanks so much, though. Joking.
What did you do before becoming an artist?
School?
You guys ever
Like
did
high school?
anything?
High
You
school.
guys ever got jobs?
I worked at a bottle depot, like a recycling depot.
All right. Oh, I was thinking about doing that too sometime. Yeah.
No, don't.
Why not?
It's
Not a lot of people know this, but
you find bottles and they've got vomit in them. Enjoy.
Ew.
Yeah.
you guys should Google a comic book. It's called Brahman.
How do you spell that?
It's a bra.
B-R-A?
Yeah. Brahman. I worked on that.
Oh,
Ramen. Oh.
Brahman.
Was that art related?
It's a comic, so I would guess so.
Brahman
It's about a
is
superhero that saves
a fictional webcomic. Least I could do.
That was one of the jobs I did before I got my actual
By
job.
Ryan Somer and Lar D'Souza. I know Lar D'Souza. No, I don't know Lar D'Souza, but I'm aware of his existence.
Yeah, there was only one book that they released.
That's
I
cool.
colored it.
Nice. But that's not before you were an artist. That's while you're an artist, right?
Well, no, I was in school. And
Oh my God! Do
Things-
not Google search Brahman.
Well, that's where everyone's going.
I typed in Brahman first, like B-R-A-M-A-N, and it's like it's the Hindu something or other, and then I spaced it out, B-R-A space M-A-N, and then I looked in the images, and it was horrible.
It's so good.
But the second image is actually what that is.
Shiroi Akuma-sama says Jetty looks almost like a Ahegawa face. Ahegawa face?
I do? How does that? Ayagawa? Oh, yeah, of course.
It's one of those people who types in Japanese words.
Uh-oh.
Oh, like.
Uh-oh. Sycra's showing his true form. Robot.
Is this Skynet again? Do we need to call Sarah Connor?
No, we need a Terminator.
Get down.
No,
Yes.
without Sycra, there's no moderation. Get in the trouble.
This is what we devolve into without Sycra. Terminator references.
Am I not?
Oh, shit. He's here.
He's back.
Oh, okay.
He's here, guys.
Oh shit.
Shh.
Pretend like that didn't happen.
Can I compete with guys that draw since they were 5 years old?
Yeah.
And never stop. And never stop.
Of course.
You just have to draw more than they draw.
Harder.
There isn't one job out there that everyone's after. Just one job.
You just have to skip sleeping like for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
Or 5.
No, I'm kidding.
No, you aren't.
Speaking the truth.
No.
Do you know we have 599 viewers? Oh, 584. They all left now.
Oh, the baby laughed at you, dude.
Perfect.
Oh.
That's
Is
a
there
lot of
any
viewers.
free program? Is there any free program that allows you to put a figure in any 3D position you want, limbs and stuff?
You can get Poser.
Yeah.
Is it free?
well, if you know where to go.
For the PC.
I'll tell you what, you guys, you can do it. Go get Google Sketch. It's really difficult to make organic 3D forms, but you can definitely make a boxy thing. So Google Sketch is free. It's a free 3D SketchUp, right? Mark, you know about it, right?
SketchUp. I've never tried it though.
SketchUp.
Oh well, SketchUp. Yeah, I mean, I used to use it actually. I used it for rendering a 3D object, and it really helped. So
yeah, for environment art, it's awesome.
Yeah.
You don't need you don't need organic shapes as much.
Oh yeah.
For perspective.
But I mean, if you can make like a boxy kind of robot, you can turn that into.
Two people. DK says, "Oh dear Lord, not poser." Alex Les, don't get poser. I don't get it. I've never used poser. But
Go see. Yeah. Go on DeviantArt and look for poser art. You'll see why.
Well, you don't use it for illustration. You can use it for posing. It's much like a mannequin.
Yeah, except people pose their. Yeah.
Mr. Bob Meatbag, what tablet are you using? Asks Raccoon DeviantArt. Intuos what?
I forgot. I don't remember.
It's a large one though, right?
Yeah, it's a large one.
What color is it?
That's what she said. Pampa Punk.
It's a large black object. Guess what?
It's like, I know, it's Siege's. Cyclone, if you have the opportunity to, would you interview Alexei Brickcloud? Of course.
My mom's watching!
Hi, Jet's mom.
No.
You are the holy.
You are the holy.
What's going on?
We're talking in Cambodian.
Oh.
Yeah, you wouldn't understand.
Basically, Sycra's Cambodian. He wrote a song for me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
He said, yeah, it goes that way.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful song. Sycra, you're an amazing person.
He's pretty good. He's off the head, off the top.
Out of his mind.
Except it doesn't mean anything in Cambodian.
Okay, let me try it.
Okay, try it again. Oh, wow, very good. Yeah.
Sweet.
That's a little closer. You said you like pineapples.
Awesome.
Did you really?
Yay. No, I didn't think so.
Last time you said some stuff. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, you did.
Can you say something in Cambodian?
Okay, yeah. Oh,
okay, so that's the way to say it. Now I know how to do it. Okay.
Ah!
Shit, no. Okay. Okay, this is... we gotta find art questions again.
Just turn real.
This turned into a hangout, like a normal hangout.
Right?
That's cool.
Normal hangouts are secrets.
Oh, you guys are hanging out with us.
Yeah.
If you have the skill to be a doctor with high salary, but you have to stop being an artist, will you do it? Well, that's the choice we've already made. Like, that's why we're doing art, right?
Art.
It's not for the salary, except for bluefley.
That's right.
But he's got a wife.
Gotta get that money.
Get that paper.
Get the paper.
See, just like that.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I don't know why people think, like, artists, if you're a good doctor, you're gonna make a lot of money. If you're a really good artist, you're gonna make a shit ton of money. That's how it is.
Yeah.
It's not just because you're an artist doesn't mean you're poor.
Yeah, especially if you're Feng Zhu.
Yeah, exactly.
Mr.
Zoo once.
And then you woke up. Mr. Radinaz says, or asks, what do you think of most of the internet animators out there, like Oni, NG, Egoraptor, and all those dudes?
Duty dudes.
I don't. Go ahead.
I think they're cool because they're just doing what they want to do, and they're doing it on the internet, so they manage to make money off of doing what they want to do exactly without having to really like join a team or anything. It's just kind of cool. It's kind of inspiring. I like seeing success stories from other people. So yeah, it's always interesting when somebody manages to make it in their own way, their own individual way. That's cool. Yeah, that's been your positivity with me. Now for hate and Sycra.
Gatel D says, Bluefley, you're the man. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to promote hate, Seage.
Thank you very much.
I'm a sad person, and that's what comes out.
No.
Siege, what's going on with that brush? That rainbow, is that an error, or is that actually on purpose?
It's on purpose. It's I'm using fractals that I made in Painter as a brush.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah.
You would like Siege's work.
I would?
You would like his work.
Where is it?
We'll talk about this later. Come on.
No, I'm okay.
Oh, we can.
Why not do a showcase of Siege? I mean, come on.
All right, I will. Fair enough.
Okay.
Should I go on DeviantArt or your other thing, Siege Art?
You can go on Siege Art.
Siege Art. Okay.
It's all linked. Everything's linked. It's the internet.
Which one is the one with the girl that I like? Where's she? She's
on both. She's in the illustration section.
The holy book.
Okay.
Oh. Let's calm down, you guys.
Jerry, go take your pill.
Alright, so this is Siege's art. I really like this one. It's my favorite one by him, but everyone has their own personal taste, and so let's look at more. Oh, look at that. It is a good one. Not the good one, too.
Not that good one.
Oh, that's really nice.
Yeah.
The Sailor Moon. Oh, right. Stop with the accents.
Every time.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude, he's like a super advanced version of Vivified.
Look at these environments. They're environments, and they're good.
I also do fashion. What? Who does fashion?
What?
That's not even a thing.
Is anyone looking for a job? Like, if they wanted to hire you, would they be able to contact you, or are you just too busy?
I'm way too busy and important.
Bob Meatbag's laugh kind of kills me. But yeah, you're not really, right?
No, I'm good. I need work, please.
Somebody
send resources. But yeah. You guys can check out my website, which is siegeart.com, or my YouTube, which is linked in the description below the stream, anyways, and all my contact information.
It wasn't, but I can make sure that's in there.
Okay.
I like this one.
Not my website. I mean, the YouTube is in the description.
Oh yeah. YouTube. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm saying if you go to my page, all my links are there, like in the top area by my name and stuff. So.
Wow, these are cool.
Contact. Yeah.
I've already seen them, but I still think they're cool.
Thanks, man.
I've already seen them.
Do you have a background in graphic design?
Nope. I suck at graphic design.
Because you've used a lot of really, depth core colors.
What? Depth core, guys?
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Like the crew?
Yeah, well, some of their later packs and whatnot, a lot of your work reminds me of that.
Oh, cool.
Except it's not graphic design, it's just a good illustrator.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I know who those guys are. I actually forgot about them. I haven't even heard.
Seage Stretsker says, Sycra, are you planning to invite Cynics? Yeah, well, I frickin' did invite him, but he's too cool for school, and he's like, I'm gonna spend time with Amelie today.
It's okay.
Out.
It's okay. They're both YouTubers. Go ahead, man.
Amelie's his girlfriend. I'll be doing something with him in the near future. You'll see. You'll see. You'll see. Me and Cynics. Me and Cynics.
You guys are pals. You guys are pals.
Yeah.
Kinda. On occasion.
Kinda.
When you can stand each other, you guys are pals.
We're kinda pals, kinda not. Kinda pals. Kinda not.
Kinda enemies.
We're frenemies.
Frenemies.
Okay. Sky asks, what job is more in demand, environment artist or character artist, and which is more competitive / difficult? Let me ask you, Sky, what do you want to do? Do you like drawing environments or characters? Because that's going to determine which one you're going to be good at.
That's true.
CherryChan209 says, bluefley equals God plus rich plus basically everything you want to be except for the hate.
I wish.
I don't know what that means, but
What's hate?
I wish I
People
knew what
hate
that meant, and I wish that was true.
People hate you, Blueflay.
Sycra, did you turn off screen share?
yeah, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, dude. Do you need another prompt, Bob?
Maybe. I'm getting pretty exhausted.
Yeah, do you want to end this soon? It's almost 2, so that means it's almost been
3 hours.
3 hours. There you go.
It's a good session.
Thanks, Bob.
Yay.
Yeah, man.
Bob's been a slave for that long.
Yeah.
You did really good pictures,
No, thank
as
you.
usual.
Yeah.
As usual.
I don't know, man. I feel kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Small
Small?
compared to
Small.
compared
That's 'cause
to the
you're
images
Asian.
that you have. Oh yes. Well, that's just par for the course.
Small.
Except he's a tall Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A tall, small Asian.
You're just a small, small man. I don't know if anybody knows that song here.
Man, you guys have great images.
We have one image. I have one image. You have great images.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Yeah, man.
Oof.
You the man.
I just like your face, to be honest.
Have you
That's what I
seen his
can't hear.
face?
No.
Let's show everyone.
No, let's not.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Alright. So I think we're good.
Yeah, okay. So, alright, we're gonna wrap up now, and I'll just do a quick run through of each person's pictures, and maybe you can talk a little bit about what you're doing. So let's start with Jet. What?
Okay. Alright.
Do little.
I'm doing a lady with armor.
And she's going, oh.
And she's like, haha.
Oh.
She's jumping up and she's like, I'm gonna shoot you with this thing very soon. And she has a bow and arrow, and I just felt like doing something. Well, I tried to go fast, and I started slowing down at the very end when I was rendering. But since we had short time, definitely trying something new. Nothing like this I've ever done before. But yeah, little bit of anime, a little bit of sexy, a little bit of strong.
Hey.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Cool. That's very nice, Jet. Okay, Bob, go through your images, because you did a bunch.
Alright. So, there's that prompt of the gentleman octopus or octopus gentleman riding a T-Rex with robotic arms.
awesome.
So basically, I thought that it was just like, oh, okay, just have one, and then it's like, no, that feels a little empty. I thought it'd be funny if he had like multiple gentleman octopuses, and then I thought, maybe there's one that's sitting on top of his head, and that one's wearing a really big hat as well. So then it's like he's wearing a hat, except the hat is being worn by a gentleman octopus. I'm not sure if that reads on his head. And then he's got a monocle as well. And there's the robot arms, and they all have little ties. I'm not sure if it's visible with the T-Rex.
Yeah, the bow ties.
Bow ties, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I did for that one, and I made him pink because the chat requested it. And here we have the flying plane, and I really like this one just because of the expressions. And when I heard the prompt, this was the image that came to mind. So this one was pretty fun to do. And here we have the shampoo beating up the homeless guy and the soap drinking soup. And I thought it'd be funny because it's like the homeless guy's obviously looking at the plate and he wants it, but the shampoo won't let him have it. And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna make you cleaner. Here, have some of this shampoo." And then he gives him the shampoo.
That is insane! Oh my god, that's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah.
Look at the perspective. My goodness.
Perspective is absolute crap, but whatever. He's drinking the soap, is drinking the soup, and then it's hard to tell, but like this guy right over here is taking a picture on his iPhone or his iMac, whatever the fuck it's called. And then there's just some people. I don't know. I can't even remember.
That's a genius.
And then there's people in the background just sort of looking. And yeah, that's that one.
Nice.
And here we have Batman Cowboy Cucumber interrogating the Joker.
Awesome. I love this one.
Oh man, I'd love to see these like in a high-end gallery where people are talking really smart about it.
Yeah.
Sipping on their coffee. I can see the emotion. It's so alive. I can feel the pain in Joker's face, even with the smile.
Yes, you can practically feel Batman spit on your face. Yeah, so those are the images I made. Hopefully,
Nice.
hopefully that was satisfactory.
Yeah, I'll say.
Oh,
All right, and now going to Mark.
Yeah.
What is this fashionable little lady doing?
Well, that's a head of some sort of creature wearing an armor that is white and red.
He seems so mournful.
It's like everyone else is wearing like black armor, and he's just like, "Why did I get this one?" But it was the only one left.
Start getting the battlefield.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
Good
the usual.
stuff, bluefley.
Thanks.
And finally, let's go to Seage. And Seage, you want to go through? And Seage, you're using what program is this? This doesn't look like Photoshop.
It's not Photoshop. Actually, it's Paint Tool Sci. Nani? Alright, yeah, I just painted a lot of girls because I like girls and I like painting them. Yeah, so here's just a random sketch thing that's really ugly and will get better over time if I wanted to continue it. Hold on, let's turn off some layers and put on the other one. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then I did this one that people were talking about, the lip gloss picture. I don't know. But yeah, I flipped a bunch of random paintings and then I flipped one random painting and then I made this. And then I jumped into Corel Painter and did this in like 5 minutes and again, I had no idea what I was doing. But yeah, I like just playing with colors and shapes and stuff. And Painter's so powerful. You guys should try it out if you get a chance. But yeah, alright. Yeah, so that's my stuff.
Awesome. And that's everybody? Here's Ricardo's face.
Yeah. I did. My mother did that.
Yeah. She sure did.
Good work, Ricardo's mom. You did a great job.
High five, Ricardo's mama.
Hi.
Good.
All right. So that's it for today, and thank you everybody who
Thanks
came
for
out.
having us.
Thanks,
everyone.
No, I have to
Thanks,
thank
Sycra.
you first.
Thanks, Sycra.
Thanks to my
Thanks, Sycra.
special guest. Thanks to my special guest, bluefley, Mark, and
Thanks, Sycra.
Siege. I'm Costa Long, who you don't know, but whatever. Ricardo, bobmeatbag, Jet,
Thank you,
and Amirah.
Sycra.
Amirah.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us on the stream.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks.
We'll see you soon.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.